Like, that is your God-given right. You are obviously, like, I've been in the lives before. I've watched, like, multiple different people give their opinions. And, like, I don't think people should be entitled to certain opinions, especially when they're hurtful. But yeah, you are a transgender woman. You were born as a male sex. Your gender is female, or I'm sorry, woman. And, you like women, and you've always liked women. So at first you were considered straight, but then once you really found out your true self, you became a lesbian.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I would argue about whether I became a lesbian at that time, but other than that, I think the way you're saying is perfectly fine.
Yeah. My only, I guess, struggle with confusion, because I'm a cis woman, or a cis female, yeah. But I'm also bisexual. And for me, it's hard to disconnect, the gender and how they present themselves to me. Like, if they identify as a woman, but they dress, masculine, I still kind of see them as a woman, but it also will influence me to think that they may have more male characteristics.
I mean, it's okay to prefer femininity over masculinity or vice versa. To those of you that are asking about kick-off, I'll explain in a moment. I have a very good reason. You guys will be happy with the reason. But yeah, for instance, it's okay for a lesbian to prefer femme lesbians. Thank you so much for the paper crane. It's okay for a lesbian to prefer mask lesbians, etc.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's hard for me to almost accept it sometimes. I know that I think it was yesterday or the day before, somebody had said that it's hard to look at somebody and determine if they're male or female. And I kind of think that 9 times out of 10, it's pretty noticeable, what they were born with. Just because of facial features and all of that. Yes, you can get surgery and do stuff to almost modify you so you feel more comfortable in the body that you're in. But I just think that it's hard. Sorry, I get nervous. It's hard to look at a transgender male and be like, oh, that's an attractive male. For me, I still kind of look at it as oh my gosh, you're an attractive person, and I like both of your qualities.
Sure, but I would argue that you don't see a person's sex necessarily when you see them for the first time. Sex characteristics would be things like genitalia, chromosomes, hormone levels, etc. You can see phenotypical representations such as facial hair, etc., a chest or lack thereof. But I would argue that you're seeing more than just a person's sex characteristics.
Right. I mean, yeah, I get that. I just want to learn more because, I understand the separation between gender and sex. That is pretty clear to me. I understand that, and, I respect that. I don't understand how, the way that you present yourself and your gender can be separated, you know?
The way you present yourself and your gender? Yeah, sure. Your gender can be woman, and you can present yourself masculinely.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Yep, that's all. But to the question, I do think you're a lesbian, and that is your title to
All right,
say.
Awesome. I appreciate you coming up.
Of course.
Thank you. Okay, if everyone could tap that screen and share the live, that would be greatly appreciated. We have 5,000 likes to start. That is awesome. That is a fantastic start, guys. Let's get that up to 20,000 likes. 20,000 likes. Okay, so I have brought Cash App to Kick back. And here is why, guys. 100% of the Cash Apps and Venmos that I receive for Kicks will be donated to the family that I'm raising money for in Palestine. 100%. I will not receive a dime. So when an opposition is kicked, either by Cash App or by Venmo, not by Ferris wheel, I'm not accepting Ferris wheels to kick. I'm not accepting Ferris wheels to kick. 100% of the Cash Apps and Venmos that I receive will be donated to to Shadia Laiklok and his family in Gaza. So that's why we're doing this. That's why this is back. Okay, if y'all keep tapping away, 20,000 is the goal. Share the live. We have 6 shares. Let's get that up to 100 shares, please. So is it just 20 in total? Can it be from multiple people to kick? So long as I get a Cash App that is $20 or a Venmo that is $20, doesn't matter how many. Like I don't have a way to organize a pool. If you guys come up with a way for me to organize a pool that you can all chip into, great. We could do that. But right now I don't have a way of doing that. And if you want to donate directly to the GoFundMe on your own, click on my profile right up here, click on my link tree, and you will find the GoFundMe right there. Your donation does not have to go through me. This is an attempt to increase the amount of funds that we're raising. Fundraising has not gone well. We're just not making money for this family. And Cash App to kick was one of my greatest sources of income back when I was doing it. I was making $3,000 to $4,000 a month off of it. So I'm hoping we can turn that into helping this family.
From like ceiling. I'm sorry, what?
I'd be like, well,
Just say that.
damn it, now I have to buy all new stuff. Because I don't want to touch anything that these people.
I would be so.
Accidental request?
I don't know.
They
That
moved
would.
shortly after.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop against this is an accidental request.
I would not. I'd be like,
Especially when you.
Okay. All right, keep tapping, guys. We have nobody in requests, so tap until we have requests. Move on, kitty. That ain't your spot. Thank you for the finger hearts. I've done this before on Mel's live, but I was just getting a snack. It's all good. Just so you got Cash App back to get out of tough conversations. Nope. Love your hair, Adora. Thank you. How am I? I'm doing fantastic, CS. Selling makeup recently? I appreciate that. Thank you so much. You should maybe set up a PayPal for people with... I can't, Haley. I can't. PayPal dad names me. I can't set up PayPal. Love your earrings. Are these new? They're not new. These were sent to me by a follower a while ago. I just haven't worn them on camera. Missed your debates? Badass. Well, I'm back to debates. I can set one up without my real name. I'd have to set up a whole new one. I can maybe figure that out. My current one, it won't let me change your name. Well, I do post donation receipts, guys. I do post donation receipts. How we all doing? If you're a follower of mine, if you've been here for a while, write Grayskull in chat. If you're a follower, write Grayskull in chat. Think you should get a nose stud? That would be badass. I'm good. How are you? I'm doing all right. Love listening to your live while I work. Badass. Grayskull times 10. All right. Septum is better. I don't know if I'm going to do anything with my nose. What is Grayskull? It's a She-Ra reference. It's a unit in Shira that was trying to do something with the heart of Etheria. I forgot what they were doing. I'm going to send you pictures of tiara settings so you can pick one. All right. On the topic of tiaras, I do have a prop gift tiara now. I love your hair. Thank you. Considering your lives, Blue G1, that was not a complete sentence. You're gonna wash your house today? All right, badass, Normie. Sounds like a good time. Guys, we have 61 shares. We're coming up on our goal of 100, and we're coming up on our goal of 20,000 likes. Thank you. All right, we have a guest request. We do not have a guest request anymore. Yeah, the Etheria project, taking the magic and turning a planet into a weapon. Yeah, that's what Grayskull was doing, the Etheria project. Hex, I thought Grayskull was the entire unit.
Hello.
Hello, Katie. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing all right. How old are you, please?
I'm 20.
20. All right. And am I a lesbian?
I fully believe you are. I sent in a little message just to say, like, can I join? If I don't want to prove you wrong, but I want to get like a further understanding of something.
Okay, go for it.
So I fully believe you're a lesbian. You're a woman. I respect you to the highest amount. I think you're great.
I appreciate that.
I just want to know if I personally have a friend that is trans. How do you support them on that? Like, how, I know being supportive in terms of respecting pronouns, but how do I support them with their struggles of transition? Like, their family's not great and they don't believe that they are who they are. So how can I be that person and support them?
Give them a safe space whenever you reasonably can do so. Remind them constantly that they have found family in you, that they have that place in you. And you can always point blank ask them, hey, what do you need from me? What can I do to make things better for you?
Okay. Shh, there is a baby in the background just in case you hear a little cry. He's chilling on the floor. But
you can also check out trevorproject.org. They have some fantastic resources on how to be a good ally.
Okay. Thank you. I really appreciate it. And I fully support the work you're doing, by the way. So thank you for accepting me.
No problem.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
Hey.
What do I identify as? I'm a woman. Morning, Cameron. How are we doing over on Twitch, guys? I am live on Twitch. Adorable Rainbow Fist on Twitch. What does kick off mean? It means kick opposition. When there's a guest up here and you don't want them to be up here anymore, if you Cash App or Venmo $20 to Adora1111, the guest will be removed for the rest of the day. And that $20 will be donated to a family in Gaza. 100% of the $20 goes to Gaza. The hairpiece is gorgeous. Thank you. Appreciate it. Do I have Zelle? I don't even know what that is. Is Zelle a payment method? Yeah, 500 people who agree right now, Jessica. So I Cash App or Venmo? All right, good to know. Blue G1, I have not seen a question from you. Thank you for the figure hearts, Troish. Through your bank? All right, awesome. So long as it doesn't detonate me. Why do I want to POV people so bad? I don't know what you mean by POV. How am I? I'm doing all right. Waiting for some op. We have nobody in the box, guys. Nobody in the box. If you would like to come up and discuss whether or not I'm a woman, whether or not I'm a lesbian, come on up. Blue, you still have not asked a question. Adora, you look lovely. Thank you so much.
Hi. Hello.
Hello, Cece, how you doing?
Can I start by saying no one can prove you wrong because that's your choice.
I need to know your
How
age.
to
Sorry.
What?
I need to know your age so far. First, sorry.
Oh, 18. 18.
And what year were you born?
What?
What year were you born?
What? I can't hear you.
Year. 2000? Okay, yeah. Pretty sure we had an underage guest. Slow morning. Slow morning. Been 15 minutes without an op. It's 16 minutes and 49 seconds. How do you request to join? You gotta have 200 followers and there should be a box right here. You have enough followers. Here, I'll send you an invite. Did I clear my block list? That would be dangerous. Hey there, Kayla.
Hi, can you hear me?
Hello, Dream Lover. How you doing?
Hey, my real name is Gabby. You can call me Gabby.
How old are you, Gabby?
I'm 24 and I was born in 99.
Okay, fantastic. And what are your
How
thoughts
are you
on
today?
I'm doing fantastic. How about you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much. I've been watching you for a little bit. I don't want to say that you're not a lesbian. I do see other people come on here and make valid points. I personally, my opinion would be that you are not a lesbian just because you are a transgender female.
So, what sexuality would I be then? Thank you for the finger hearts.
So I guess I would ask you, you like females?
I'm attracted to women.
You're attracted to women. Okay. And you're a transgender female. I guess I would have to respect that you are a lesbian, you know,
Okay.
but I do want to point out the fact that transgender female, meaning that you were born a male,
Trans woman.
some people can look at it as in you're straight. Does that make sense?
They would be incorrect and invalidating.
Okay, and can you explain that to me?
Sure. When you say that I am straight, even though I identify as a lesbian, you're implying that I'm not a woman.
Okay, yes. And I did hear you say that you are a woman and you identify as a woman. So I guess my next question would be, if you're a woman and you identify as a woman, why do we have to use the word identify? Because I feel like identify is what confuses people, you know?
I mean, it's what my gender identity is.
Gender identity. Okay. Because I feel like when people say, oh, I identify as a woman, the identify kind of confuses people as in like, okay, so you're not a woman, but you claim to be a woman kind of
But
thing.
identity means the fact of being who or what a person or thing is.
The gender identity?
As it relates to gender, it is a fact that I'm a woman. It's the fact of being who or what a person or thing is. So when I say I identify as a woman, I am saying that it is a fact that I am a woman.
Okay. And I just want to say, since you can't see my screen, that I am a woman and I'm biologically female. My question would be, what is the difference between a biological female? This is my question to you. What is the difference between a biological female and transgender female?
So what do you mean when you say biological?
Like, I was born
I think you're
female.
misusing the word.
I didn't have to go through the process of like pretty much what you went through. I didn't have to go through what you went through to be able to say, okay, I identify as a female. Does that make sense?
So first of all, I'm transgender. I'm also transsexual, but that's not really something that I talk about too much.
Okay.
Because what I want to do is fight for transgender rights.
Right.
Because transsexual rights and transgender rights overlap. And fighting for transgender rights is more inclusive. So I am transgender, meaning that the claim that I'm making is that I am a woman. I'm recognizing that my assigned sex at birth is male, but my gender is woman. So I don't think that my sex plays a role in my gender. Say
Okay.
for my neurological sex.
So you're acknowledging that you were born a male, but then you transformed into a female.
I would also disagree with that. I don't think any amount of transition is necessary to be valid in my identity. I still think that you're misusing the word female. Female, at least from a scientific standpoint, female refers to your reproductive functions. Female is used sociologically to reference women, but it's kind of not the most polite way to.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. I see in the comments too that everyone's saying that I'm using the wrong term. Sorry. I'm not used to I'm not coming off as disrespectful. I'm just not used to the correct terminology.
That's fine. Not everyone can know everything. It's okay.
Thank you so much. But yes, so I guess I can respect the fact that since you are a woman and you are a lesbian, would it be different for someone who hasn't gone through the steps to be able to say, okay, I identify as a woman? Let's say if it's a male, but they haven't gone through the steps of 100% to be able to identify as a woman, I guess.
What steps do you think are needed in order to be able to identify as a woman?
Well, I don't really know too much about it. I don't want to come off as like rude or disrespectful, but I feel like everybody who doesn't know too much about it, when they say transgender, they just think, okay, well, you just got surgery and you like take your hormonal pills.
Sure, I understand why people would think that, but that's incorrect. Transgender just means that your sex assigned at birth and your gender identity don't align. That's all it means.
Okay.
So you don't have to get surgery. You don't have to start HRT. You don't even have to change the way you dress or the way you talk or anything like that. Your identity is valid regardless of whether you've made changes.
And is this more of a like feeling like, because like I said, I was born female, so I feel like I am a female, I am a woman. So I guess it would be confusing to me. Is this like a feeling that you don't feel the same?
So transgender, so it just means that my innate sense of self, being that of a woman, thank you so much for the finger hearts, doesn't align with my assigned sex. When I was born, I was assigned male. They looked at my genitalia, saw that I had a penis, and they assigned me male. And everyone assumed that I was a boy because of that. They were wrong. All that means is that my innate sense of self is different than what than what typical biology would suggest.
Okay, I feel like that's honestly understandable. And I also am glad that you acknowledge that you were born this way, but it doesn't align with that. I feel like when you explain it that way, that makes a lot more sense than, how other people would try to explain it. So I'm glad that I came up here today to kind of clear that up.
Awesome.
I have one more question.
Okay.
So this is more of a personal opinion. So I don't know, this is a little bit off topic as well. So a transgender, let's say for example, if you're in a public area and there's only male bathroom and female bathroom and you're a trans woman, you 100% would say that you feel comfortable going in a female bathroom, right?
Right, I use the women's restroom.
How would you when this whole change started happening, because obviously this wasn't always a thing, now they're adding trans bathroom, or it's not trans bathroom. There's a word for it that they use that both or everyone can use the bathroom. I don't know the specific word, but before that, how do you take the other woman's feelings into consideration? Do you maybe feel like you make other people uncomfortable?
I mean, why would I? I'm going into the and that's it. I mean, there's no reason for me to get a feel for whether or not the people in there are comfortable with me or not. And how would I even do that? Would I ask them, hey, are you okay with me being in here?
Right. I mean, totally understand how
by default.
I totally can see how on both ends it can be a little hard, because I 100 gender neutral. Yes, that was the word. Thank you so much. But I can totally see how on both ends it can be like a uncomfortable situation. Not saying that this is like transphobia or transphobic, but like, let's say because you were born with these body parts, right? I'm trying to put it as blank as I can, You were born with these body parts, but it doesn't align with your, what was the word that you called it? Gender?
Yeah, my gender would be woman.
Okay, yeah. So you were born with these parts, but it didn't align, right? And now you can go into the woman's restroom. Me, as a woman, that I was born this way, I would say that I feel 100% female. It kind of makes, again, I'm not trying to be disrespectful at all. It kind of would make me as a woman feel weird because I guess I'm not 100%. This is not the norm, I think this is why everybody starts to be weird, and it's not the norm for everybody for a transgender to just walk in the female bathroom, because the way that my mind thinks is like, okay, yeah, I'm going to look at you and I'm going to respect that you are a woman, but I'm going to know in the back of my mind that you're a transgender. Does that make sense?
It doesn't. How are you going to know?
Well, I guess I wouldn't know. But if me and you were in the bath, let's just say I wouldn't know if we were in a public space. But if me and you were in the bathroom, I would know, because I know now from watching you on live that you're a transgender.
Transgender person.
Transgender person.
Okay, so you know that
I'm a woman.
And I talk about the fact that I'm transgender. But if I was a random stranger who went in the bathroom, even if I have masculine characteristics, there are plenty of women with masculine characteristics. Having masculine characteristics does not make us a man or transgender.
And that is true. There definitely are women, who are females who, they grow beards, or they don't have they don't have breasts. They go through different things, but that's not like 100% occasion, And even let's say if a girl has a beard, right? Like she's growing a little bit of a 5 p.m. shade on her face or whatever. That doesn't take away from the fact that she's a female.
But how do you know if someone is male, female, or intersex?
Well, it would be kind of by the characteristics of the person, like if I stand next to you, I'm 5 foot, I would say that off rip, you would see me as a woman, as a female. But when you have a transgender, this is just like a general thing, because not every transgender is like this.
But transgender person, please.
Transgender person, yes. Not every transgender person is like strong with the male characteristics. Some transgender people, when they transgender over to a female, they 100% can pass as a female. But that's not always the case.
Right. I think requiring passing is a dangerous slope, not just for trans people, but for cis people as well. Thank you for the compliments, everyone. I see them all. Thank you.
I guess I totally understand how it could be, how I wouldn't know if someone is a transgender or not. But I guess my point in the topic is
we have to add the word person there because otherwise it's dehumanizing. It's transgender.
Oh, I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm really not trying to be disrespectful. This is not something that I believe that I talk about on the daily. So transgender person, yes, but. I guess I am just trying to say that it would make a woman feel weird because we don't understand transgender people.
Sure. You don't have to understand people to just let us do our business. We're just using the restroom as it's intended. We were going there, we go to the bathroom, sometimes we do our makeup or touch up our hair.
Right.
And that's what we use the restroom for.
Yeah, I can totally understand that. I would just say, like growing up as a female, right? That would be the correct term for me, a female. Correct me if I'm wrong. you know, we have the slumber parties, you know, when I'm in the room with my friend, like we're doing girl things. I'm not saying that you don't do girl things, but I guess since growing up, experiencing these things growing up would make me kind of look at a transgender person and be like, okay, but they didn't experience those same things growing up. They didn't know what womanhood feels like, if that makes sense.
What does womanhood feel like? Thank you for the finger hearts. Thank you for the
I couldn't put an exact word on womanhood, you know, because I can't put an exact a word on manhood or man or a man's life. But I would say, like, it's the complete opposite of a man, you know, like it's not so much about what we like, it's about what we go through.
I would say that there's more similarities between men and women than there are differences.
Really? And can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, if we're talking purely biological, the fact that we're human, the vast majority of our makeup is the same. There are differences for sure, but the vast majority of what makes us who we are is the same between the genders. Sure, gender is different. Being a man is different than being a woman, but we still have more in common than we don't.
Right. I totally get that, because we are all human. You know, we bleed the same, we eat the same. I get that. But you don't feel like, as a transgender person, that makes you different from a woman? Or I don't know if I'm using the correct terminology. From me, that I was born a female, you don't feel like that makes us different because of the...
You're off, Ab. Okay, you're back. So yeah, there are differences between us. That's why we have the word cisgender and the word transgender. I'm a transgender woman. You're a cisgender woman. There are differences. We're socialized differently. We have different bodies. We're typically treated differently by society. But we still have more in common than we don't. We still are both equally women.
Okay, yes. I guess that's what I want you to elaborate on the equally woman part.
On the equally woman part? Yeah, sure. A woman doesn't require being born a certain sex. A woman is a gender. Gender is psychological and social. So even though we have different bodies, we are still both equally women, because we have that innate sense of self of a woman.
Okay. And I guess where I would disagree, because, you know, this is a debate, we can definitely agree to disagree. I'm not taking away from the fact that you are a woman, right? But me, that I grew up having periods, you know, I grew up with breast pain, I grew up with cramps, you know, I went through pregnancy, I went through the whole giving birth process, you know. Not every woman or not every female can get a period or
Exactly.
can have a baby.
And that doesn't make them less of a woman.
Right. It doesn't make them less of a
point.
woman. I totally agree with you on that.
So it doesn't make them less of a woman, though.
The reason why a woman or a female, because again, I'm not too sure on the terminology, the reason why someone who was born a female or a woman and they can't get their periods or they can't give birth is a completely different reason why a transgender person wouldn't be able to get their period or give birth, if that makes sense.
The reason doesn't matter. There's a variety of reasons that cisgender women do or don't get their periods. There's a variety of reasons that cisgender women can or can't give birth. The reason doesn't matter. Whatever reason we have for not being able to give birth or not wanting to give birth doesn't make us less of a woman. And the reality is, and I'm planning on creating a topic about this, we're expected within the next decade for transgender women to be able to give birth.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And I guess from my response to what you just said, that within the next couple of years or so, transgender women are going to be able to give birth. Do you not think that that's like not forced, but this is something that had to be researched. This is something that had to be like worked on, tested, you know, when you're putting that on the table versus a female who was born this way. It's natural life, you know. Do you see the difference?
Why would if in theory a transgender woman was able to get a uterus transplant and give birth, why would that not be natural?
If you're okay, that would be natural, but you're taking that uterus out of a female that was born with it, if that makes sense.
So what? I mean, that uterus was natural.
Yes, the uterus was natural, but taking the uterus from a female that was born with it and putting it into a transgender just is kind of proving my point that it's scientific.
The operation itself wouldn't be natural. It would be a man-made operation. But the uterus itself and the functions of the uterus would still be natural.
100%. I totally agree with you on that. The uterus is natural. It comes from a female that was able to give birth, go through pregnancy, have their period, whatever. But the man-made process, that's what makes it that's what makes transgender people and female different. Because you're taking it from a female that was born with it. Males are not born with those organs,
So what?
I guess my question is, do you acknowledge that transgender women are different from females?
Right, because transgender doesn't tell you what your sex is. It tells you your relationship with sex and gender. Transgender means that your sex assigned at birth and your gender identity don't align. So when I say I'm transgender, that doesn't tell you what sex I am. When I tell you that I'm a trans woman, that strongly implies that I was assigned male at birth.
Okay. Yeah, I think my problem is I need to do a little more research on the terminology and get comfortable with it because, again, this wasn't anything about transphobia. I feel like I can understand both ends of the rope, and everybody can definitely agree to disagree. So I would just say that I will have to do my own research, and I'm glad that I was able to come up here and talk to you about it.
We got an interesting Cash App. Thank you for coming up, Dream Lover.
Thank you.
Okay. So I want to. A lot of people are seeing that I have. Oh, Kayla, thank you so much. 11-month subscriber. That I've brought back Cash App to Kick. I have, and it's not for the reason that you think it is. 100% of the Cash App and Venmos that I receive to Kick Opposition will be donated to the family that I'm fundraising for in Gaza. 100%. I will not receive a dime. All of that money will go to the family in Gaza. The Cash App that I just received is for no such thing as a trans lesbian, you incel. Someone sent me $1 to say that. How toxic do you have to be to pay someone to insult them? Wow. Sasha, you wrote that I'll just go back to pocketing it after a day. I don't lie about where my money goes. So when money is going directly to me, I say that it's going directly to me. The gifts that I receive, the Cash Apps, the gifts that I receive, what's it called? The subscriptions that I receive, 95% of that goes to me. The other 5% is donated. I'm always open about that. Where is this idea that I'm running away from a debate with Edith? I've never been challenged to do a debate by Edith. Never. So, no, I'm not running away from a debate with Edith. All right. Next up, if y'all keep tapping that screen, if you're new to my live, if this is your first time ever seeing me, write hi in chat. Everyone else, please keep sharing and keep tapping. Let's set a goal of 50,000 likes, guys. We got nearly 700 people in here. Let's get 50,000 likes. Yeah, I want to remind everyone, Kayla, thank you so much for the sub. I appreciate you. That there are so many rumors going around about me. So many rumors. Ask yourself this. Is this something that I see Adora do? And if the answer is yes, then maybe there's some validity to that rumor. And if the answer is no, don't believe the rumor. How you doing, guest?
Hi, how are you? My name is Sarah. I just want to come on here to clarify that I am 24 years old and a mother of two, and as well as I have LGBTQ transgender family members. Um, just wanted to basically come up here and say that I've been joining your live and hearing your debates for the last couple of days. Now, I do want to clarify that I have nothing against transgender people, but as the last guest said, it is important to remember that it is okay to agree to disagree. Everyone is entitled to live up to their truths and how they feel, as every human being on earth deserves that right. So, with that being said, I basically just want to come out and say, even though you may see yourself as a lesbian, for women that are deeply rooted within their femininity, their feminism, it can be offensive to us that do go through growing pains, having children, having to deal with menopause, or just dealing with the genetics and the DNA system of a woman's body in general. Some of us don't have the, you know, option or the mental option to just say, hey, I'm going to go and have this surgery done because I feel in my head that I am a woman. That may come off to some of us as offensive because
Why?
we don't get. I'm sorry. I want to just go ahead and let you speak. I'm sorry. Did you say anything?
Yeah, I asked why me identifying as a woman, why me identifying as a lesbian would be offensive. But before I do that, I just want to say that that same person who cashed out to me $1 to insult me has now cashed out to me $2 more dollars. One to say that I'm a grifter. They're paying me to call me a grifter, and the other one is that for real lesbians find me repulsive. I've been paid $3 now to be insulted and called a grifter.
I mean, I think it's a bit much to say that other lesbians would find you insulting. Again, if that is your truth, then by all means you live in it. But to say that is offensive to other women, because to the other women that are still trying to understand themselves and whether or not they believe themselves to be a man or they believe themselves to be a woman, or if they just, again, they just want to be a different sex but still in the same gender, if that makes sense. So it's still, like I said, it still comes off offensive in that aspect because for the simple fact, for a person that right off the bat, like say if you are coming from a small town city, you know, let's break it down back to the basics. I'm gonna bring a little bit of the ghetto-ness in here. Say you come from a hood or low income area where those kids or those people that are coming out with those ideas and those parts of themselves that they are now trying to inspect and learn about to figure out themselves, you know, it can become off a bit confusing. Again, I've had lesbian. My sister
People
was
are confused because they're not taught about us. That's why.
not because they're not taught about you.
No, that's why they're confused. They don't know about transgender people, so they don't have the ability to understand us. Guys, I just got another Cash App from the person who's harassing me on Cash App.
Again, I'm so sorry. It's
They're paying me. They can pay me. They can say whatever they want if they're going to pay me. Also, guest, you have pretty bad audio. I don't know if there's something you can do about that.
No, it might be my Wi-Fi, so I do apologize if I cut out. If I have to repeat myself, just if you can let me know. Again, like I was saying, I lost my train of thought. Basically, there's people that grew up with lesbians in their family. This is not something that hasn't, like, it's like seeing a fish crawl on land for the first. It's not like that. And a lot of people are treating it in that type of way. No, this has been around for as long as we can remember. We have people in our family. A lot of people have transgender people, lesbian people, gay people in their family, and those people have said their stories. Even if you don't read about it in the history books, we all have come onto it or known about it or learned about it some way, somehow.
I didn't.
I wouldn't say it's not that they're not properly taught or confused. It was an aspect.
It's definitely that we're not properly taught.
Again, no, it's
I
not
have to
that.
educate people constantly.
that part, it bringing awareness to it on what you learned. You know, everyone has a different way of learning things. The way you have learned about your identity and yourself may not have been the same for someone else.
Right, and that's a problem. I was not taught about being transgender at all. I had to learn on my own as an adult, and that caused problems for me. People need to learn about this stuff.
Yes, and while I don't think that is correct, but at the same time, how you learn about it may not be correct or the same for anybody else. Someone could come on here and hear everything that you say and be a part of your community, which I have seen, and still be against what you're saying. So it's just how you learned. It may not be the same for everyone else. Bringing education to it and awareness to it, definitely yes. But there's no right way, and there's no wrong way to bring awareness to it. I mean, hate, yeah, I will say that hate is definitely a wrong way to bring to it. Because if you're unfamiliarized with something,
where are we going here, guest?
Where are we going here? Your question is, am I a lesbian? Prove me wrong. I basically came on here and stated that I do not think that you are 100% lesbian.
So I did receive a Cash App. I just want clarification from the person. The person who Cash Apped me could clarify in comments whether or not that was a Cash App to kick or not. All right. In the meantime,
Am I kidding?
so my question to you would be this: am I a woman?
Are you a woman? Not 100%. To an extent, I believe so.
Not
Yes.
to kick. Okay, it was not
Not
to kick.
100%.
Thank you so much for the Cash App tip. I appreciate it.
Did you hear what I said, Adora? I'm sorry.
I apologize. I didn't.
I was saying to 100% no, but yes to an extent.
Oh, okay. So that's a no. There is no yes to an extent. You're either a woman or you're not. There's no partial woman.
You technically still have the DNA of a man.
Yeah, I don't. Okay, so
That
gender is like
does not make you 100% woman.
gender is psychological and social, meaning it is partially how we interact with people, and it is partially in our heads.
So Adora, if I come out and I say right now that in my head I am a man, but I have a woman's vagina, does that make me still a man?
If you tell me that you're a man, I don't care what genitalia you have. If you tell me you're a man, I'm going to call you a man, and you
Out of
would be a
respect,
man.
of course, that's a courtesy thing to do for a next human being, especially without trying to sound like you're committing a hate crime. Because realistically, half of these people that come onto your debates are committing hate crimes, and that's still not right. But that does not mean that I am a man.
I'm not sure I would call it hate crimes, but maybe some of the threats that I get for sure. But you are invalidating me. You're telling me. Sorry, I don't know if you're able to hear me. My phone just. Were you able to hear me? My phone just kind of tweaked.
No. Can you please repeat yourself?
Yeah. So you are invalidating me when you say that I'm only partially a woman.
Because I feel like it still doesn't take away the fact that you came out of your mother's womb with a man's genitalia. You can never change that part of history of your
Male
life.
genitalia. You came out with male genitalia.
Again, yeah, I apologize. But no matter what, you cannot change that piece of history of yourself, no matter how much alteration or how much...
Sure, I had male genitalia, but I don't... A, I don't have male genitalia anymore, and B, your genitalia does not determine your gender. Thank you for the head mustache. I lost my mustaches again, because that's what I do. I just lose things constantly. I don't know where my mustaches are.
I'm going to listen to the chat. I've seen someone say, ask questions. Can you explain to me what determines your gender?
What is?
As a human, what determines your gender?
Gender is psychosocial. Gender is typically fully formed by the age of 7. It forms in the hypothalamus.
So simpler terms explain. If
Sure.
I want
Gender is in the
I'm an
brain,
alien,
sex is between your legs. Yeah, gender is in your head, sex is between your legs.
But wouldn't gender be considered sex? again.
Okay, so the definition of sex from a biological standpoint is it's your reproductive parts. It's your genitalia, your chromosomes, your hormones, etc. Gender is psychological and social, meaning it's partially the expressions that we make about ourselves. It's partially how we're perceived by society, and it is partially psychological. It's partially in our head. Thank you for the head mustache.
Okay. Okay. Again, so if you just stated right there that it is partially within the mind, it is all brought on to by the mind, how does that physically make you a woman?
I mean, from a physical
I hate bringing this card up because, it's kind of like a slap in the face, but it does need to be brought up. Trans women, they still cannot produce children or provide a period like a normal woman.
First of all, I was answering your question, and second of all, you've gone on to a whole different topic.
How did I go to a different topic? I just stated.
Right, you asked me a question. I've already forgotten what the question was, but then you immediately pivoted to birth.
Again, because it still resolves within the topic. This is all within the same topic. This is a debate. We can bring anything into this topic.
No, you pivoted hardcore. You asked me a question, didn't give me a chance to answer, and then moved on to another topic before I can answer your question.
Correction, you cut out, so I didn't get to hear that you were speaking. So on that part, my fault. But on the rest, I still feel like I'm within topic right.
I mean, it's on the topic of transgender people and cisgender women, but it's off the topic of whatever question you just asked me, which I've forgotten because you pivoted.
It just, at that point, it doesn't matter. It didn't matter. If that's how it went about, then it just didn't matter. So moving on again. If you want to move on, you can. But while I'm up here, I do feel like I'm still within topic, right? So I'm going to bring this up again. It still is like a slap in the face to bring this up, but again, you cannot produce a child without having some type of IVF or
I can't produce a child, period. Trans women cannot produce children. Trans women cannot get pregnant.
Okay.
And I want to be clear that no trans woman is claiming that she can get pregnant. There's the possibility that maybe in the future we'll be able to. Right now we can't.
And I hope so for that, because everyone deserves their own children and their own family. But that's not the possibility right now. And without that, that is a huge factor in being a woman.
No, it's not.
Even for the women, yes, it is.
It's not.
Even for the women,
no,
yes,
it's
it is.
not.
I agree to disagree.
No, it's literally not. What you're doing is reducing women to baby makers. Women are not baby incubators. First of all, I've already mentioned. Hang on. You've been talking the whole time. You've been talking the whole time. It's my turn. Okay. So first of all, I've already explained to you how your sex, your biological sex, is related to your reproductive functions, and gender is psychological and social. You don't have babies with your brain. Gender's in your head.
But you have babies when you are a woman.
Which is related to your sex. Which is related to your sex, not your gender.
Your brain needs to tell you, okay, I am not a woman to do this. You can't have babies. You are not a woman. Okay? That is something that has been since the day of dawn. I'm not a religious person, but anyone that is a Christian, Catholic.
I'm going to move on to the next guest. You have a good day.
You too.
Okay. Yeah. That was rough. Okay. How are we doing, everyone? We got 734 people watching right now. That is awesome. If you guys could share and like the live, that would be great. We're so close to 50,000 taps. We can do it. We can definitely do it. And we're going to bring up the next guest. If you are new to my live, write hi in chat.
Adora.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
Doing all right.
Glad to hear it. I just kind of wanted to come up here as a FBF today, just saying, hey, you're awesome. Uplift you with some trans joy. You're beautiful. You're wonderful. Don't let anyone tell you different, okay? I'm going to be chilling in the comments.
You're welcome to co-host if you want.
I might mute. I just got a lot going on, so if I'm not super active, that's why. But I'll mute and stay up here for you.
All right, no problem. How you doing, Nikki? Oop, Nikki fell asleep. Guys, I am getting bombarded with cash apps by this person. Okay, so the first we're up to the fourth cash app. I already read the first three. The fourth cash app said that for TikTok's worst and fuggliest debater, another $1, and they just sent me another one for can't invalidate what's not valid. You ain't a woman. This person is just dumping money on me. It's only been $5, but still, hey, that's $5 I didn't have. Damn. Someone, Hex System redeemed Hydrate. Thank you so much. Don't forget, I am live on Twitch, guys. We lost our guest. You would give me a penny? Thank you. You can give me a penny by sending a rose. I think you can send a rose like right here somewhere. That's about a penny. To be clear, I'm donating the Cash Apps to Kick and the Venmos. The Cash App and Venmos to Kick. That's what's being donated. As well as 5% of my gifts are donated and 5% of my subscriptions are donated. That was an accident, but thank you. No problem, Tia. Welcome back, Nikki. I don't know if you're still asleep, but... Adora has a cuterus. And if you want to see my cuterus, check out my Twitch. You can see my cuterus on Twitch. For real. Adorable Rainbow Fist on Twitch, guys. You can see my cuterus on Twitch. Thank you so much for the rose. Appreciate it. I officially have a cuterus cam. Adora redyed her hair. Yes, she did. Not the gifts in my Discord right now. Let me show you guys my cuterus. This is my cuterus. It's super cute. Thank you for the roses. That term was coined by KTP, who I believe is watching right now. Say hi, KTP. Hello, Amy.
Hi, Adora. How are you? I had a question. Can you be agender and use she, her pronouns?
Yes, but I do need to know your age, please. Thank you, Normie, for the
32.
roses. 32. All right, yeah, you can be agender and use she, her pronouns.
I was just wondering if that's... You can be any gender and use any pronouns, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask. That's all. And you look pretty, and all the haters, go pay her more money.
It's hilarious. I don't get it.
I love the thing in your hair. I love it. Where is it from?
Hot Topic.
Oh, Hot Topic. I love it.
Thank you so much. This is Hot Topic. This is Hot Topic. My skirt is Hot Topic.
And the hair color? What
I had it done professionally.
Oh, you don't. Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to say that.
Oh, geez, Amy. Oh my God.
No, that's okay.
I'm sorry. Of course I remember you. Of course I remember.
You don't have to remember me, and I still can't accept your on Discord. I don't know how. I don't know what's happening.
I accepted your friend request. Here, let me Let me send you another message right now because
It still says pending. It still says pending. It's weird. I can accept Mel, but I couldn't accept you. I was like,
what was your username again?
.just.av.
Dot what?
Just, yeah, but it still says pending. It's weird. I don't understand a thing about.
Okay, I sent you another message. It did not give me a message unsent warning, which means that it did send the message.
It's weird, right?
Discord is a mess.
Why can I accept Mel, but by after your name it says pending for like a week?
I don't know what to do with that. Sorry.
I'm like, well, it's weird. What? Yeah. I just wanted to ask that. I couldn't find that answer. But
all right, Amy, thank you so much for coming up. I appreciate you. Keep kicking ass, right? I hope things are developing well.
Oh yeah, my son moved to another family and he's back at his therapist. So
fantastic. That makes me happy. That's a step in the right direction.
It just said that he isn't home right now, but that's my problem to accept and deal with it. But I'm glad he's okay. That's all what matters as a mother. So. But yeah, his new family is totally trans ally, and I love that for him. That's a good thing. So yeah, and it's all because of you and Mel, because you guys helped me a lot.
And we'll never stop, Amy. Anytime you need any advice, any recommendations, any sources, connections, etc., whatever, we're here for you.
Yeah, the sources you gave were really helpful too.
I'm glad. It took a while to dig them up, and we had a lot of help from my Discord, guys.
Yeah, because I can do it because my brain injury.
Getting those sources.
My brain injury won't let me do it. Right? I'm bad at it, at reading, and so I was glad that you guys did that for me. So I appreciate all the help, and I get message from all your followers. I feel very welcome in your space. So thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Amy.
Okay, bye. Have a nice day.
Bye. Okay. We got 750 people in here, and we have no requests, guys. That means it's time to tap like crazy. Keep tapping. I want to see a stream of hearts here, guys. Just a giant stream of hearts. We got nobody in requests, which means we're probably not fully on the FYP. Yeah. Hello, allegedly, Ian. Yeah, we got about 10% subscribers watching, which is a pretty typical number. I would bet the majority of the rest of the people watching right now are followers, especially considering, we've got one new follower. When we've been live for over an hour and we have one new follower, that means TikTok is only pushing me out to friends, which is awesome. And also not awesome because we're looking for debates. Thank you for the rose. I did retire from debating for about 3 weeks, and then I changed my mind because I missed it so much. In just 3 weeks, I missed it so much. Catcam and Cuterus, yes. Only time I ever remember to use my Prime sub is when I start following someone that I follow on another platform. Badass. Did someone just subscribe? Oh yes. Sartuga, thank you so much for the sub. I appreciate you. And Lindsay redeemed Stretch. All right. Super close to 100k followers. We'll get there eventually. It's going to be a slow process. Thank you so much for the finger hearts. It's going to be a very slow process, but that's okay. For every 100 new followers I get, I typically lose 50 followers. Do I get access to Discord with both subscription options? I would like to subscribe. Yes. Oh, okay, no. If you subscribe to my Twitch, you get access to the Discord. If you subscribe to the $5.99 tier here on TikTok, you get access to the Discord. The $2.99 tier on TikTok does not give you access to the Discord. I called it the Discord tier to make it less confusing. If you want the Discord, subscribe to the Discord tier. And that is a one-time subscription.
Hello.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing all right. How old are you, please?
I'm 19, born in 2004.
Okay, fantastic. And am I a lesbian?
I mean, I just really wanted to come on here and say God loves you, and
we're not here for prophesizing.
You still have time to change before.
We can talk about the topic from a religious standpoint, but the prophesizing, we're not doing it.
Well, I mean, I feel like, men and women think differently. We have a different mindset.
What is the correct mindset to have as a woman?
Just because you feel like a woman don't make you a woman, because we think differently. That's all I'm saying.
Right, sure. What is the correct way to think as a woman?
Women are more, how do I say it?
I want to say thank you real quick for the tip that I just got on Cash App. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Lost our guest. Oh, someone else did the Cash App. Keep up the great work, Free Palestine. All right, I will make any tip that I receive that says Free Palestine, whether it's for a Cash App to kick or not, I will donate as a to the family. So thank you so much for the tip, and that will be sent to the family. Okay, we might have to do a reset, guys. We're not getting any requests. Thank you for the rose, Kai. Okay, I'm going to do a reset. I'll be right back. What year were you born?
2002.
Okay, all right. Which bathroom should I use?
Okay, this isn't wait. This isn't about the bathroom thing, but can I please just talk about your definition of a lesbian, please? Because I really want to. Can I please say something about that?
Not particularly interested in that right now.
Oh my God! I just want to make one point, Adora. I just want to make one. It's not. It's not anything. Okay, so your definition of a lesbian was non-man versus non-man, right? I mean, attracted to non-man.
I changed it to a woman or non-binary person attracted to women or non-binary people.
Women are non-binary people?
Yeah, that way it's not...
Okay, then thank you. That's all I wanted to know. I thought it was still non-man, like in non-men. Thank you.
Okay, you have a good one, Spencer.
You too.
All right, bye. Welcome, Kaylee.
Hello.
I did not recognize Lakobe at first.
That dude came in hot.
Mm-hmm.
How's the morning been so far?
Slow day. Very slow day.
Yeah.
Hey there, CS. Thank you for the finger hearts. We're halfway through our gift goal, guys. I have a gift goal of 200 finger hearts. We're up to 100. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. Thank you, Spooky Siren. Hex is writing, okay, so would it be women and non-binary loving women and non-binary? That is a long way to say that, but yeah, I mean, hey, I'm open to hearing more definitions, more ideas, etc., more positions on that. Thank you for the rose. You used to be a casino bathroom cleaner? That sounds unpleasant. It's Friday, always a slow day with guests. Well, I know I can tell you for certain that Saturday and Sunday typically are. Typically, like Tuesday and Wednesday are the busiest days. Thursday and Friday tend to be kind of middle. I do believe that there's a variety of issues that I'm facing right now. I'm not going to speak about one, and the other is that because I am talking about Palestine and fundraising for a family in Palestine, my videos are definitely being suppressed. Very definitely being suppressed. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's also affecting my lives.
So let's talk about that for a second. So I don't understand why people aren't looking
That's a TikTok algorithm. There was a sharp shift this past week regarding Palestinian content. TikTok is suppressing anything related to Palestine very, very, very hard right now.
Oh, gotcha. Well, that doesn't surprise me. I didn't know if that was like a viewer thing or
I don't think that's
TikTok regulating.
My most recent video has one of my highest full watch statistics out of all my videos. I think last time I checked it was at like 19%. 19% of people who watched my most recent video watched it all the way through, which is very good for my numbers. And yet still, I've just broken 2,000 views on it.
That's crazy.
I have other theories as to why I'm not getting views right now, but I'm not going to talk about those.
Yeah, I've even posted some stuff on my account that I'll try to like promote, and then it'll say I violated community guidelines. I'm like, what?
I would say the majority of content violations are probably fake, are probably not real on this app.
Yeah.
Actually, that might not be true. There's probably a lot more content that's removed that should be removed than isn't.
Yeah, I see a few of those too.
All right, keep tapping, guys. We're looking to get some guests up here. TikTok is not getting banned. That's not going to happen. TikTok is seriously messing with Parker too. I know. Didn't Parker get banned again the other day? Like again? Holy shit. All right. It looks like we're not going to make the FIP today. Looking good today. Thank you, Little. Appreciate you. How is Shadi and his family doing right now? I don't know. I'm not able to get in touch with them. Thank you, Skelekitty. 10-month subscriber. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. We are back, Randy Marsh. Yes, we are. Yeah, it turns out not being able to get in touch with people in a war zone doesn't make them fake. Turns out, who knew? Those of you saying that it must be fake because I can't get in touch with, like, get real. Get fucking real. If you don't want to donate, don't.
If there were bombs going off in your backyard, I don't think your phone would be the first thing you reach for. That's just me, though.
It amazes me how many people that are supposedly allies of the trans community or members of the trans community that are just so against fundraising for Palestinian families. Thank you for the roses.
People have lost empathy and compassion. You know, they just see one thing. And
if you don't like this GoFundMe, don't donate to it. Find another one. There's thousands, literally thousands. Or just don't donate at all. Do your own thing. Donating isn't the only way to help these people. Thank you for the finger hearts. All right, I'm going to give it a few more minutes here, guys, but we're just not getting requests. We got viewers, we got 400 people in here, but we are not getting requests. TikTok, I guarantee you, when I check my metrics, it's going to be predominantly friendlies that my content's being shown to. Thank you for the finger heart, B. Do a restart. I've already done several. No luck.
Hi, Adora.
Hello, Tamara. How you doing?
I'm wonderful. I just had a couple of questions. I will make it. I am 35.
Okay, fantastic.
And just FYI, I am a Christian. And I just wanted to have a conversation. Just maybe help me better understand. So I am straight, married. I don't know if any of that matters. It really probably doesn't. But I know that there is like this stickler of like people trying to put everyone in a certain age group or a certain group. Me being Christian, me being straight, me being 35. Of course, people would say I have a specific view. But I wanted to come on here because I wanted to have a conversation about the bathroom usage. What bathroom do you feel comfortable using? Can I ask that first?
Women's restroom.
The women's restroom. Okay, so now I myself do not give a crap who uses what bathroom, right? Because when we go anywhere, like people come to my house, everybody uses the same bathrooms. When we go to other people's houses or get-togethers, we all use the same bathrooms. To me, I don't care. Now, the only thing that I think that actually matters or I care, see, I am been sexually abused most of my life and was sold into human trafficking when I was 10 until I got out at 13. Oh, it's okay. It made me who I am. So I wanted to have a conversation because for me, I'm not really uncomfortable unless it gets to a point where like people creep me out. I don't care, male or female, it doesn't matter to me. But I'm asking that because like what do we do, say a kid goes in the bathroom? Women's bathroom typically is more private, right? So would it make a difference to you if, I don't know, say there was a all usage bathroom, didn't have a specific gender. I don't know if you've ever been to like a Buc-ee's, but like how the Buc-ee's restrooms are, each stall has its own door.
I support gender neutral bathrooms, but what specifically makes women's bathrooms more private?
No, I'm saying, is that why you'd prefer to use it? Like what is the difference in the bathrooms?
There's two key reasons. One is that I prefer to use the women's restroom because I'm a woman, and the other is because I am safer in the women's restroom than I am in the men's.
Okay, so why do you feel safer? I'm just trying to understand. Please understand that.
Because transgender people forced to use the restroom that we don't identify with are more likely to face harassment and be assaulted.
Okay, so would you say that the same goes for women who have been assaulted? Most women that have been assaulted a lot of them haven't worked through their trauma, right? So a lot of them are uncomfortable with someone else because anybody can say, and this is not attacking you, but anybody can say, I identify as, right? And that doesn't make them right or left. It just says that that's how they identify. Well, someone being a 16-year-old girl who just went through a traumatic experience or hasn't dealt with the traumatic experience that she went through, what makes it her in the women's bathroom more, how do you say it, her needs over your needs if she's uncomfortable? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, where do we put one person's safety over another?
Transgender people can also have trauma.
Yes, I completely agree. I completely agree. But I'm saying, what would you say would be the way to fix that? Because I don't want to say her traumatic experience is more important than yours, although she's still a child, or your traumatic experience is more important than hers, because we get to this place where like everybody is uncomfortable, or, you know, somebody has a trigger or somebody has an issue. Like, where could we make it okay? Do we have a third bathroom that's gender neutral? But then you have, what stops a male who has a vindictive grudge against a transgender from going into that bathroom? You know what I mean?
Transgender person. But the reality is that no matter what we do, we cannot know the intentions of the people that are in the restroom with us. Whether we have gender neutral bathrooms, whether we have bathrooms segregated by men and women's restrooms, we don't know the intentions of the people around us, and no matter how we divvy it up.
So how do I put an adult person who is trans? How do I say, okay, I have an 8-year-old girl in the bathroom? How, if someone just identifies as, and we don't have paperwork, we can't say yes or no. We don't know their intentions, no matter who goes into the bathroom. So how do we keep that from affecting children or affecting other people who have gone through? So
the reality is that someone who intends to commit these awful crimes, they don't care what the sign on the on the stall says. They don't care if it's a picture of a woman. They don't care if it's a picture of a man. They don't care if it's gender neutral. None of that matters to them. If they're willing to commit crimes that are this awful, that sign isn't going to stop them. If they see an opportunity, they're going to do it. It's already against the law for them to do these things.
Mm-hmm. I agree. So if there was a young girl in the bathroom, in the women's bathroom, and she told you she was uncomfortable, what would your reaction be? And these are all just because I've been in situations, right? I don't care. For me, I take my kids into the bathroom. My husband takes my kids into the bathroom with him. They never go alone. And the teens are a little bit different, right? But what would your response to that young girl or to that parent be? Would it be a respectful conversation?
If it was a child, I would just ignore them and go into a stall. If it was an adult, I would probably give them the fucking middle finger and go into the stall.
Even if you don't understand why they're uncomfortable?
I am a woman and I have every right to be in women's spaces. I simply cannot account for the for every experience, for every trigger of everyone around me. I'm a woman. I belong in women's spaces. Thank you, Dano.
See, maybe they feel the same way about you. I'm just trying to figure out, like, if, I don't know. I'm trying to understand a little bit.
Let's say we have a 13-year-old transgender girl. Which restroom should she use?
Whatever she's comfortable using.
Sure, she should use the restroom that she's comfortable with, which could possibly be the women's restroom. I can't imagine a scenario where we should force a transgender girl to use the men's restroom.
Right. But here's the situation too, is like, for women, we feel like we have issues, right? We have, for most women, and I'm going to speak for myself, but for me, say I'm on my menstrual cycle and I go into the bathroom. To us, we are who are born women, most of us, most people, not just women, but most people, we think of ourselves and we're like, okay, wait, time out. I'm uncomfortable, period, because you're on your cycle. It's uncomfortable conversation. And it's weird. Like, I've been married and I don't even use the restroom in front of my husband, just because I'm a very private person. So, I mean, I guess I'm just trying to shed light on it because I feel like women are like losing rights altogether.
What are transgender people taking from cisgender women?
One, that we're women. That's all.
In what way does my identity of a woman take away your womanhood?
Because y'all are making me carry a title. I'm a woman. I'm not a cis woman. I'm a woman.
You're a woman. I'm a woman.
Yeah. But see, not all people think that. Not all people think that. Everybody's trying to put this cis thing on me, and I'm like, I don't understand why I need a title. It's woman.
Okay. Do you know what cisgender means?
Yes, born with it.
No, it means that your sex assigned at birth and your gender identity align.
Right, which is woman.
So what is offensive about that?
Because you're just adding an extra title. It's just woman.
You are just a woman. But when we're talking about the differences between trans women and cis women, we need words to have that conversation. And that's a rare conversation. I
want to comment on some of these comments in here real quick because they're being so hateful.
Realistically speaking, the only place you're going to have to use the word cis is in transgender spaces.
Okay,
if you
I
don't
see what
want
you're
to be
saying.
called cis, stay out of transgender spaces.
Right, but then you guys want to be in our space too, right? I mean, so it's got to be a respectful thing altogether.
So the women's restroom is not the cis women's restroom; it's the women's restroom. So I would argue that cisgender exclusive spaces don't exist.
No,
at least I haven't seen
them. They don't. They really don't.
Agreed. And
I'm being hateful. I'm sorry. I'm just reading some of this. I'm just honestly just
don't read the comments.
Compassionate.
If I can tell you anything, just ignore the comments. Obviously.
Thank you. Because I'm just trying to honestly understand. Like, I want to be.
Well, yeah.
I'm not trying to
I have a question.
I just want to understand how we can all live respectfully. And honestly, I could care less either way. What you want to be is what you are. Hey, I don't need you to tell me or clap because I know who I am. Like, I feel great that you guys, any group of any kind of people, should have respect, right? And should be able to live with respect and be who they want to be at the end of the day, honestly.
Agreed. But so I personally am a big fan of gender neutral bathrooms, but that's not what we currently have. The current system is men's and women's. So if I go to the grocery store today, which restroom do I use?
Well, I would have to say whatever you're comfortable with. But at the same time, there are people too, that are not comfortable with it. So
okay,
that's
so let's say I go into a women's restroom and there's a woman in there that says, "Hey, I'm not comfortable with you being here. I would rather that you leave the restroom." What should I do?
Just wait till she gets out and go in.
So I should leave the restroom.
I would. If somebody told me, hey, like, okay, say you were in the restroom and I walked in and you said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm in here," and I would say, "Oh, okay." If you said, "Hey, can I just have a minute?" and I would be like, "Okay." I'll walk out and wait because it's not always like multiple restrooms, right? So unless it was an emergency and I didn't care who was in there, then I would go because I've gone into the men's restroom.
Have you ever been into a women's restroom and been asked to leave because someone in there was uncomfortable with you being there?
I was in the men's restroom once.
That's why I specified women's restroom.
No.
Right. That would be highly, highly unusual.
I mean, how hurt would you be if somebody, told you to get out of any space? I'm sure you would be. I mean, it would anger you, yeah?
Not really. It takes a lot to anger me, to be honest. No, I just feel like hate is hate. Like, people are just hateful. And even like in traffic.
I mean, you were reading the comments just a second ago and getting pretty heated. So
I just wanted to understand. Like some of the comments, I'm not angry with them. I'm just trying to understand because people have hate is hate. People are always going to be hate, and hate doesn't need to get more hate because then we have some stupid argument or some out of proportion, just disagreement that's not necessary, right? I walk in love, and I wish that other people, I'm not saying that I'm perfect, but I wish other people would take in consideration that everybody deserves to be loved and respected. Not earned, it should be given, not earned. And that's just what it is. Unfortunately, we live in a world today.
I would agree with that. I believe that a certain amount of respect should be given by default. I don't like the idea of everyone having to earn basic respect. I will agree with you there.
Yeah, until you give me a reason for me not to trust you or respect you, and then even then, I'm going to be cordial and kind because that's just who I am. But I honestly just feel like wherever you're comfortable, but in this time, it's just like this weird time that we're in that I don't completely understand it. I don't understand, but I also, I guess, just always lived the way that I lived. I just feel like we need to find a way to have that respect, regardless of what bathrooms to use. In general, if we were all considerate of each other and each other's emotions, because nobody knows what kind of background people come from. It's like when you're driving in traffic and somebody cuts you off and you want to slam on your brake or you want to get in front of them and give them the finger. But what if that person's family member, their husband or spouse or wife, were in a car wreck and they're on their way to the hospital, and here you are being hateful, trying to play games on the road? We never know. Same thing with you. I couldn't just walk into the bathroom and notice that you're male or female or trans. I wouldn't know. And so I wouldn't say anything, but that's not how some people are. Hate is hate. It's like, people in the KKKs, most of them don't even know why they hate. They just because they were born and raised that way into that kind of family, and that's just how they are. I'm not saying that's right. I'm saying that it's bred into people. People are brought up and taught that. You know what I mean?
Okay, so, but what is your solution here?
Be considerate of each other. If someone speaks out and says, hey, I'm uncomfortable, even if they're hateful and they don't get it.
Yeah, I'm not coddling my oppressor. If someone is like, oh, I can tell you're a man, I'm going to give them the middle finger and I'm going to use the restroom anyway.
Well, then, I wouldn't. That's just me, though. I'm just that type of person. If I make someone uncomfortable, I don't want to make anybody uncomfortable because I don't know where they're coming from. I don't know their situation. But if it's just specifically because, hey, you're this, well, then.
So let me ask this: if you were to go into a women's restroom and you perceived someone in that restroom to be transgender, would you ask them to leave?
Would I know?
Fantastic. So why are we advocating on behalf of people with transphobic ideology?
I don't necessarily think it's just being transphobic. I think maybe that it's just they're uncomfortable in a situation. I don't think it has anything. I mean, some people, yes, but I'm saying not everyone. Not everyone feels that way. Maybe it is a trigger because I myself have been sexually abused by a bisexual man who dressed as a woman and had me do some off the wall crazy stuff when I was 10 years old. Did it for a very long time bother me? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely it bothered me, but it had nothing to do with transphobia, but triggers from trauma.
Sure. Yeah, I'm not going to take that away from you or invalidate that. Your triggers are valid 100%, but I cannot be aware of the triggers of everyone around me. Right. There are triggers for any number of things. And when I'm existing in a public space, I just can't take into account all triggers. I can be as polite as I can be. I'm not going into any place to cause any harm. When I go into a women's restroom, I'm just doing it to go to the bathroom, maybe touch up my makeup or touch up my hair or something like that, and then leave. So if someone has a trigger similar to yours, I feel for them, but there's not anything that I can't take that into account. I can't.
But what I'm saying though is most of the time, if it is a trigger or trauma response, say they're working through it, right? If they had turned around and explained to you, hey, I'm really not comfortable at this moment due to some past experiences. Could you give me just a minute or I'll come back in? Because they don't want to offend you. Most people that have that kind of stuff, they're not going to try to offend you. It's not going to be out of anger.
If someone was to express that they have a trigger, I may be willing to consider it. It would depend on the situation, the vibe that I get from the person, how badly I have to go, etc.
Right. But you would be
I
receptive.
would be willing to at least listen to them. I don't know what statement I would make.
Well, same goes for them. I mean, if they're uncomfortable, they can leave the space as well. You know,
Right.
you're saying
I would have.
that Adora would, you know, should leave the space and leave them alone and wait for them to be done. Well, same goes for the other party. You know.
Yes. That's that mutual respect for each other. I mean, we don't have, there's not assigned bathroom genders in a house where you go hang out at somebody's house. You know, everybody uses the same restroom. The only thing I would have an issue with is like children, regardless of their sexual orientation. It doesn't matter. A child is a child and they don't need to be exposed to anything, because I would have an issue with a grown man going into the bathroom with my daughter and pulling his privates out in front of my kid. I would have an issue with that.
I do believe that Jessica here has a question that she would like to ask.
Hello, Tamara. With regard to the uncomfortability in the bathroom, let's say you were in a bathroom and a trans woman said they felt uncomfortable around you and asked you to leave. What would you think about that?
I would be okay. Like, hey, okay, I'll give you some time. As long as I didn't have to like go right away and I'd be like, hey man, look, check it out. I've got a really bad situation going and I need to go like right now. So I apologize. But for the most part, I'm completely considerate. And I know that might sound fake to a lot of people, but that's 100%.
Well, I mean, you're consistent. I mean, you seem to apply your logic to both sides equally. So at least I'll commend you for that.
Well, thank you. It's all people deserve, that love and respect and that consistency. And I think that that's where us as humanity, we're trying to pick everybody apart and put everybody in a corner, when in reality, we're all one people. We're human race. Doesn't matter your gender, your color, your sex orientation. We all deserve respect and love and consideration, because everybody has a different situation and no one's situation should trump another situation. Most of us who are arguing over this are adults, and there should be some kind of common ground and agreement and respect shown in the conversations and in the actions, in my opinion.
All right.
But I will jump off here, you guys. I appreciate it. You guys did help me understand some stuff, and I appreciate your time.
All right. I appreciate you coming up, Tamara.
Thanks, y'all.
You have a good one.
You too.
I do think we had a good discussion there. I think that was a worthwhile discussion. How you doing, Jessica?
Not too bad. Yeah, and like I said, when a person is consistent, I will give them that. Whether or not, I personally agree with them, at least they're consistent.
Yeah, I give consistency points too, because consistency is so rare when it comes to transphobia. Okay. All right. Next up, guys, please keep tapping that screen. Share the live as well. I'm going to bring up the next guest right now. Flawless Love.
Hi.
Hello. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Adorable.
I am fantastic. How old are you, please?
I'm sorry?
How old are you?
I am 26.
26. Fantastic. Yes. And which bathroom do I belong in?
I'm sorry?
Which bathroom do I belong in?
Okay, now, since we are on the topic of that, Miss Adorable, I have a thing, okay? Now, I have plenty of gay friends. I have plenty of gay men. I've always seemed to attract those type of friends, which I have no problem with that. But my thing is with the bathroom situation that's been going on for the longest time is, what's the big deal about the bathroom? Okay. I believe that if you go to a bathroom and you are a male, you were assigned a male at birth, and you go into a woman's bathroom, it all depends. Maybe how you carry yourself when you go into the bathroom. If your demeanor is you know, friendly, opening, because I believe that a transgender man can use a woman's bathroom. But I mean, it's so much
I
going
want to be
on.
clear here that a transgender man is a man.
Huh?
I want to be clear that a transgender man is a man. I would argue that yes, transgender men can use the women's restroom. We should use the restroom we're comfortable with. I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
Yes. So a transgender man can use the woman's bathroom. The only thing that I have a problem with, and I'm just going to be honest here, is if a transgender man uses the woman's bathroom, I feel like he should have to respect the women that's in there. I mean, if he can't go along with that, then he should not use the woman's bathroom. If he feels that he cannot.
Okay. I want to clarify. Would you mind telling me what a transgender man is?
A transgender man is a man that was assigned that was given male body parts at birth, who maybe later on identified as a woman because he felt like he was a woman.
You have it flipped, and you're misgendering trans women. A transgender man was assigned female at birth, typically.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking about a transgender woman. I'm so sorry.
Yes.
So sorry. I get it. I accidentally flipped it around. I'm sorry. Yes, a transgender woman. Excuse me. A transgender woman was assigned a male at birth, but later on felt that they was a woman, so they, started taking hormones or whatever the case may be.
We don't have to make any changes to our bodies in order to be transgender.
Okay, so transgender is just when you dress like a woman, right? And act like a woman.
No. Transgender just means that your sex assigned at birth and your gender identity don't align. So I was assigned male at birth. I identify as a woman. That makes me transgender.
But you can still dress like a man.
I can dress however I want and still be a woman.
I don't really understand that, but because I mean most of the transgender women that I see usually look like women. I mean, you kind of have makeup on, you have pink hair.
Right,
I mean, you look kind of like a girl. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but you look like a woman.
Sure, but flawless. Let me ask you a question.
Yes, go ahead.
If you were to dress up like a man, would that make you a man?
I mean, if I felt like I was a man, then yes.
If you had the innate sense of self of a man, yes. But the point is that dressing up like a man does not make you a man.
No, it doesn't. But at the same time, I mean...
Quick question.
Most transgender women that I see usually dress like a woman. I mean, it's very few that I see that still dress like a man.
It's typical, but it's not required.
Okay. So my other question is, what is up with this whole cis woman thing? Why can't we just be women?
That is a ankle breaker.
Why can't we not just be women? I don't get it.
Okay. That's a whole separate topic. Separate topic.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Let's reel this back in. We're talking about
sorry. I'm so sorry.
You're good. Okay. So, Jessica, go for it.
Floss, I have a question.
Yes, I'm listening.
Are you a woman?
Yes, I am. Okay. I'm currently just found out that I was pregnant.
Congrats.
Thank you.
So, since you're a woman, is that a feeling you have, or is that something you know to be true about yourself?
I mean, to be honest with you, it's a feeling that I've had. I never had any type of feeling to think otherwise. I mean, as long as I can remember, since I was a little girl, I've always liked to do womanly things. I mean, I personally never had any issue with thinking that I want to be a boy or feeling that I want to be a boy. Nothing like that ever crossed my mind. I'm just not understanding where all of this is coming from, because when I was growing up, all of this was not, we had more of, okay, yeah, you may had a gay boy, you may have had a gay girl, but it wasn't so much that we have now to where we're fighting over bathrooms and everything.
So would you say that you always knew you were a girl and or a woman?
Yes, I always knew that. Yes.
Okay. Well,
never questioned myself ever in my life. Even when I had the ability to understand myself and what I'm doing, I never thought of myself as maybe I want to be a boy. Never. That never crossed my mind.
Congratulations. That's how about 97% of the population feels, for the most part. And for trans people, we also know the same thing. It's just that people tend to doubt and question our knowledge of self, whereas for cis people, they readily accept it. So I mean,
I think probably because of the fact that man and woman is more normal than a man wanting to be a woman and a woman wanting to be a man. So I think that's why more people are just more on the fence about it.
That is not what being trans is. A trans woman is not a man who wants to be a woman. A trans woman is a woman who typically has just been assigned male at birth. See, people make the assumption when they're born that they're a boy and they'll grow into a man, but that assumption does not always hold true. So again, our knowledge of self is just as real and just about the same as your knowledge of self.
No. I have no doubt about that. Like I said, I don't care what you do. If you want to be that, be that. I don't care. I'll support you. But my thing is, I feel like sometimes with the trans community, you can be a little bit overboard. You want people to, you always throw it in their face. You know what I mean? And that right there, I don't really understand. Because it's like me being a woman and I'm just telling everybody all the time, I'm a woman. I need it. It's just it becomes a point to where it's like, why?
Here's the thing, though. Did you ever have to tell anybody you were a woman?
I've never had to tell anyone that. No.
Did you ever have to argue and fight about it?
No. Mm-mm.
Well, it's different
because
for us.
At the end of the day, I know what I am. So I don't need people
to
try to understand me. You see what I'm saying? I don't need people to try to understand me. If I say that's what I am, that's what I am. I don't need you
same for us.
anybody to try to understand me.
Same goes for us.
Look. We're not doing it for self-validation.
Well, that's what it feels like sometimes.
Well, okay. How would you feel?
Because my thing is, why all of a sudden now we have cis women, we have all of these names. Why do we need all of this? If you feel that you are a certain person, that's okay. That's no problem. Be who you want to be. But why do you have to do all of this extra stuff? Why do you have to?
Because everybody else doubts us.
Hang on, guys. I want to re-listen.
You know who you are.
Hang on, Flawless.
Yes.
We're getting off topic again.
Okay, sorry.
The topic is bathrooms. I don't think that trans women wanting to use the women's restroom is extra or asking for something that's too much or too far.
Well, it can be extra. I mean, if you get
why is it extra for me to use the women's restroom?
If you get a man who is deranged or demented and he goes into a bathroom,
okay, we are not using those words. We are not using those words.
Deranged or demented?
Correct. We're not using those words.
Okay, excuse me. Well, if the man has problems and he goes in a bathroom with a little girl, do you think that that's okay? Because he says he identifies.
No. What does that have to do with transgender people?
That has a lot to do with transgender people because he can say he's something when he's really not.
Okay, but that's the thing. You just said it. He's not transgender. Therefore, it's my turn to talk, Wallace. It's my turn to talk.
Because we don't have a right to question.
It's my turn to talk.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's not a transgender issue because in this hypothetical, you just said this person is pretending to be trans and that they're not actually trans.
If he doesn't have a right to be questioned about his identity, then how does he get to go in there? If he has no right to be questioned, we just feel that that's what he is, then...
Go ahead.
If that's how he feels that he is, he has no right to be questioned. She has no right to be questioned about anything.
Yeah, that's definitely not true. When someone is causing harm, by all means, question them. Also, oh fuck, I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, I'll just stick with that. When someone is doing something that is against the
Okay.
rules,
Okay.
question them.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, like and you talking about somebody going into the bathroom to assault whoever that person is, no matter what gender they are, they need to be arrested and prosecuted.
Okay. All right. I just want to make sure that it's just not, just because a person say that they are this, they can just freely do something, because sometimes people have problems, so they know that they can probably get away saying they're this or identify as this to get in there to do, not so good things to people,
See, they don't.
and that's not
Flawless.
right, because they're abusing what you guys work hard for. You see what I'm saying?
Flawless. Flawless. If somebody pretends to be you to commit a crime,
Saying, it's a right to have question. It's a right to wonder. I mean, that's just like with anything. I'm black American. You know what I'm saying? So I understand to a degree of certain things, how it is. I get that. They put everybody in one category. They try to I get that. That's not what I'm saying. But if you feel something's not right, I feel you should have a right to question that. If you don't like something, you have a right to go say something to the police. I mean, that's just me. If you don't feel comfortable, you have a right to do that. I'm sure if I walked somewhere and they didn't like me, they have a right to call the police because they feel, oh, she might do something. Or she just look, it's not right, but that's how people are.
I get that's how people are.
Okay.
But I'm sure we can share in the experience.
Yes. And all
I'm sure that
love,
we can
because-
share in the experience that, like, people
Yes.
clutch their purses a little bit tighter.
Yes, you're absolutely right, hot dog. And I'm not saying that, trans women or trans men, because I messed this up earlier. I'm sorry, adorable. That trans women and trans men are not accepted, because I have a trans man that is a woman, but she transformed a couple years ago.
No, you keep doing it. You keep calling trans women men. That is harmful.
Okay, well, I'm gonna just break it down to you, adorable. I don't know these whole perverbs like that. I don't know none of this stuff. This is all new to me. You know what I'm saying? So you got to kind of work with me here, okay? I'm just trying to learn about this. This is all new to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like you. I don't
fine.
know this
I
stuff
can work with
already. I don't know it that well. So if I mess up, yes, you can kindly enlighten me, but just don't be rude about it, adorable, because like I said, I'm here to have a discussion. That's what we're here to do. So if I make a mistake, you can tell me about my mistake, in a very nice way, but don't get agitated about it, because this is something that I'm learning. Okay. This has not always been around. So you have to work with me here.
Flawless. That's fine.
Okay,
But in order for you to learn, you have to spend more time listening to us.
And the thing is, I'm listening, but I'm also talking too. So if I make a mistake, you can kindly tell me, hey, you're making a mistake.
When you're talking, you're not listening.
Okay, well, excuse me. And the thing is, if I'm talking, you're not listening. If you're able to correct me every 5 minutes, you're not listening. Because you know what I mean.
Actually, she's told you that same thing more
She's
than
only
once.
told me once, Jessica. She's only
Twice.
told me once about it.
Once.
When you're referring to your friend who is transgender and she's a woman, you want to refer to her as a woman strictly. You can mention the fact that she's trans if she's comfortable with you.
Well, actually, music, we're friends, but we're not that close. But I know of her transition. I know of her you
But
know,
it still begs the question: why would you refer to her as a man if she's transitioned to a female and she
no,
identifies as
she's
a
a
female?
woman. She's a woman who wants to be a man.
Oh, so
She was born
he's
a
a man.
woman.
So
She was
because
born a woman. She wants to be a male.
he was identified as female at birth. That's the correct terminology. You say
Yes.
you want to understand. So
Yes.
I'm telling you, that's what you say. You say he was identified as female at birth, but he is a man.
Okay, music. I understand what you're saying, and I'm working on that. That's something that comes with time. So you have to work with me here.
I mean, I don't know where he is at socially. I don't know if he's come out to his family and all that.
I have no idea about all that. I don't know all of that. All I know is that he was in transition to become a man. That's all I know. Now, what he told his family, I have no idea about none of that. That doesn't protect to me.
But it doesn't matter because it doesn't invalidate his identity as a man. I know when you talk about being born a woman and being born a man, it's your perception of what that means to you.
Yes, you're absolutely right. You know, it's all about how you feel, you know, and I understand that. I'm not saying that none of that is wrong.
Right.
You know, you all have a way to feel about how you want to feel about yourselves, and that's okay.
Flawless, I have a question for you.
Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna shoot it point blank. Are you transphobic?
I am not transphobic, but I do have problems.
But it's the but.
With bathroom situation, the fact of calling us cis women, I don't understand that. I mean, why can't I just be a woman? Why do I have to have cis in front of it? I mean, I don't get that. Why am I being called that? I'm a woman. The doctor doesn't call me a cis woman.
Adora needs to
My
talk
mom
now.
doesn't call me a cis woman.
Okay, so flawless love. We were talking about transphobia. Would you say that it is harmful to the trans community to exclude trans people from publicly accessible spaces?
No. I don't want to do that. I don't want to.
No, that wasn't the question. The question was, is it harmful to exclude transgender people from public spaces?
Is it harmful to exclude?
What she means is when you say that you don't think a transgender woman, a grown transgender woman, should be in the bathroom with other female identifying people, what do you think that's harmful for you to say that transgender women shouldn't be allowed on girls' sports teams? Do you think that's harmful?
It's not harmful, but I mean, it all depends on how the women feel too. You have to take them into accountability too.
You're doing it again. You're implying that we are not women.
Okay, but if you are a woman, you just have to make sure that everybody feels the same way about you. That's it.
No, I don't. I don't have to worry about what everybody thinks of me. I, as a woman, should be entitled to public spaces for women. And it is harmful to exclude me as a woman from public spaces meant for women.
Okay.
Adora, I have to run.
Thank you, Kaylee.
Yep. Bye.
So, Flawless, I wanted to sort of try to answer your question about why we're adding cis to the vocabulary.
Thank you so much, because I would like to understand it. I literally just found out about this last week. I had no idea that they was even putting cis on front of women. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm like, what is this? I'm like, I don't know nothing about this.
So to start, it's not new. It's just that people are now learning about it because of the viralness of online spaces. So this word in reference to gender has existed since 1916. It's evolved from cissexual to cisvestite to cisgender, which is the most accurate term that we have. And it just means that you're not trans. And you're not going to be called cisgender in everyday life. This mostly exists in the spaces where it's required or almost necessary to differentiate between trans women and cis women. So both trans women and cis women are women. But when we're differentiating, that's where that word comes out. In everyday life, and it doesn't negate that you're still a woman. You're still just a woman.
Okay.
Yep. And it's just an adjective. Like I'm a tall woman, I'm a big woman, and a trans woman, but I'm still a woman.
Okay.
Those words in front are just adjectives to better describe me. And like Hot Dog said, I think you probably won't hear the terms like cis woman outside of like trans spaces, medical spaces, or legal spaces.
Yes, because Jessica, I was confused. I was like, what is going on here? I literally just seen it on TikTok. I was like, oh, but that's actually how I found Adorable, was from that.
Nobody's gonna walk up to you and be like, "Oh, you're a cis person," and use it as an insult. It's usually used for educational purposes.
Okay, now see, because I was like, what is this cis stuff? And so, I started reading a little bit, trying to understand it. Like I said, I don't really know too much about this. All of this is new, guys.
Right.
I've heard about it. I've seen some of it, but I don't really understand it too much, so that's why I'm not going in full force like I understand everything, because I don't. So I know you guys can kind of enlighten me on some things, help me out, help me understand, the new terminology, that everything, and all of this stuff, So if I say something that might not be right, just kind of, hey, it's not right, girl. You know what I'm saying? And you got to work on that, So yes, and I'm just wanting to understand the community a little better. I'm wanting to understand you guys as well, because y'all deserve to be understood, and that's my main thing. I just want to understand and, be able to communicate with you guys. And, because like I said, I love the communities. Okay. I personally think that y'all are some of the funniest people, some of the most down to earth people. I mean, and that's just how I am. I just want to understand everything and, communicate, stuff like that. I mean, simple things. That's it. I don't want nothing too hard or nothing like that. So, yes. That's it, Jessica. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, girl.
Okay. I think I'm gonna end this conversation and bring the next guest up.
Okay, sounds good. But thank you so much, Adorable, for your time. I like the pink hair. That's cute. Keep it up, girl. And take care of yourself, all right? Same thing with Hot Dog, Music, and Jessica, okay? It was nice speaking to all of you guys.
You as well.
All right, bye-bye. Bye.
Okay. All right, next up. Guys, please keep tapping that screen. Share the live. We're going to bring up another guest right now. If the conversations are good, then we're gonna keep going. If the conversations are good, we're gonna keep going. I do want to remind everyone that I'm kind of sort of going back to the Cash App to kick. $20 for either Cash App or a Venmo to Adora1111, and you can kick the opposition. And you know what? Fuck it, because what we're doing, I'm gonna say you can kick friendlies too. You can kick whoever the fuck you want. You Cash App or Venmo $20. I'll kick who you ask me to kick. Because that Cash App and Venmo is going to a family in Palestine, 100% of it. None of it goes to me. None of it goes to my guests. None of it goes to TikTok. It all 100% goes to Shadia Leiklook and his family, who are trapped in Gaza. So if you send a $20 Cash App, and you don't tell me who it is, I will assume that you want the opposition kicked. Otherwise, yeah. Pay to kick my friends.
So what
for friendlies.
What about you like gifts? What about like gifts and roses? Is there a percentage? I know TikTok takes some of that.
So TikTok takes about a third. Google/Apple takes about a third, and then about a third goes to me. Of the amount that I get back, of the amount that I get, 5% is donated weekly. I did just get a Cash App.
Okay.
Who's going?
It's gonna be me.
It's gonna be Hot Dog. Or was it a Venmo? Okay, I must have been a Venmo. Oh, it's not Hot Dog. Music. I have the Cash Apps to kick you. Thank you for coming up, Music.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so that is $25 that we've made total. That's going to Shadia Like a Look.
I am very, very shocked that it wasn't me.
Me too. Music, you're always welcome to future lives. Always welcome to future lives.
Yeah, hot dog is a target sometimes.
Yeah.
We love you, Music. Always welcome in the future. But my primary goal here, my top goal above all else at the moment is to help this family as much as I can. So if I can get $20 to drop a friendly, I'm going to take that $20.
New guest?
Wookie Combat says they cashed out me earlier. What was your name, Wookie? Because I do not see anything from you.
My bus is taking forever.
Oh, someone just cashed up $25 to Free Palestine. Fantastic. We've now raised $50 for the family. That's amazing. Thank you.
Awesome. Do we have another guest?
We do. It's Leah. How you doing?
Leah, you're off app.
Yeah, if you're talking, we cannot hear you.
Oopsies.
Okay. My cash app's partially covered. Yeah, it's Adora followed by 4 ones. Adora 1111. Sally, how you doing? Sally? Accidental request? Okay.
Hello.
I'm reading something on my Discord that's hilarious. Apparently we're chatting about dehydration and racism. How you doing, Dexter?
I'm doing well. Yourself?
Doing all right. How old are you, please?
29.
29. Fantastic. Which restroom should I use?
Honestly, it shouldn't really matter. I personally think that, we should have restrooms kind of like in Europe, how their stalls go from floor to ceiling and they have their own individual doors, and it would mitigate the whole problem. Because personally, when I go to the bathroom, I'm not trying to make eye contact with anybody. I'm in there to do business and get out. And I have had trans friends growing up, and they've all been female to male, so I haven't had any male to female friends, which I have no problem with. But if someone's presenting the way that they want to present, that's fine. I just don't think there should be an issue in bathrooms, because I don't know who's looking through the little cracks in the doors. But if we just had, family or unisex bathrooms where, like I said, in Europe, they all have their own individual doors and little rooms, that would mitigate the whole issue. And anyone can use what bathroom they want.
Some nice proper restrooms with proper doors and deadbolts and all that.
Yeah, that would make the issue 100% not an issue. People could just use the restroom freely.
I've seen restroom models where it's just not even a room for it. It's just doors on the side of a hallway, and then on another side of the hallway, there's sinks.
Yeah. That's what I just wanted to say, is that, there shouldn't be cracks in any stalls. I think it's just kind of weird as an American thing. But, I think, like I said, they should just have their own separate stalls and
all right.
Doors.
Thank you so much, Dexter. Appreciate you.
Mm-hmm.
Have a good one.
You too.
All right, guys, we're out of opposition. We are out of opposition. It has not been a day for requests. Every topic I've run, almost no requests. It's Memorial Weekend. I forgot about that. That explains. All right. Well,
I vote one more topic change.
Hello, Jules. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing all right. How old are you, please?
I am 48, trans woman.
48 trans woman. That's awesome. Which bathroom should I use?
Definitely women's bathroom. But I do have, I guess, questions because I mean, I am a Gen X trans woman, and I think sometimes that works against me, and I have my own internalized, I don't want to say transphobia, but at the same time, like, I often wonder, where is the line drawn? Like, and I'm saying this for advice. I'm not saying this as opposition. But like, if you have someone who maybe, I'm trying to be careful on how I word things, so please forgive me. It takes me a minute. But like, okay, I'm just going to give an example of my own experience. When I first started transitioning, probably 6 months into my transition, I kind of had one foot in the door and one foot out the door, if that makes sense. Very androgynous. And I will never forget the first time I actually used the women's bathroom. I clearly made the women uncomfortable because, I was not presenting fully in a way that a cis woman would see me as a trans woman, and I felt like they viewed me as a threat, and that put me back into the closet for a little while. And I mean, I guess, is there a line that we need to draw? Is there a line drawn?
I would love to talk about that. Let's do that. First things first, though. Hot dog. I've been Cash App to kick you. You have a good one.
Ooh.
Have a good day, hot dog. All right, that's $70 we've raised for the family in Palestine, guys. $70. Fantastic. Okay, so I want to remind everyone. Never mind. I take that back. I was going to say I don't accept Cash Apps to kick trans people. Hot dog's trans. I accepted that one. So we'll let it ride for now. I'll figure that out later. Okay. I think, like, ideally everyone would be comfortable, right? But I'm not willing to coddle transphobia. People who are uncomfortable with us, they're uncomfortable with us because we're trans, and I don't want to give space for that.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that. I guess, like, all right, so I have daughters, and at one time in my life, unfortunately, testosterone was my primary hormone, and it's a hormone that causes us not to think clearly, not to think rationally. At least it was for me. That was part of my dysphoria. I could not stand the emotional aspects of testosterone. But I mean, I guess what I'm saying, like, I don't know how true this is. I mean, you hear things on TikTok, like the person at Planet Fitness, they say she was a trans woman and she was shaving her face in a woman's locker room. Is that an appropriate representation of the trans community?
Is it appropriate to shave in a women's locker room?
I mean, bear with me on that one. Like, again, I am here to learn. I am here to, I guess, declutter any transphobia that I have that's internalized. You know,
personally, I love it when trans people give the middle finger to society. Don't say, fuck you, I'm here, I'm trans, and I don't give a fucking shit what you think.
Hell yeah, and I'm down with that.
So that woman did nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with shaving in at a Planet Fitness.
Okay.
It wasn't harming anyone.
So Jules, what about a cis woman with PCOS because they have facial hair? I feel like something might have been still said, but I don't know if it would have been as big of an issue.
No,
because it would be a.
I mean, you're exactly right. Again, I mean, as someone who has daughters, as someone who's, again, Gen X, I mean, we're a little bit more closed-minded. You know, I guess what I'm saying is like I was raised by feminists, and my own experience of making cis women feel uncomfortable, it got to me. It affected me because I do not want to make anyone uncomfortable with my existence. And I agree with you, Adora, with giving the middle finger. I mean, I think that's great. I mean, trust me. But at the same time, I'm just, you know, I'm curious to, you know, how the community feels about, you know, are there certain rules or is this just ruleless? Because, I mean, I do understand the point of view of a cis woman saying, well, what if you have someone who is taking advantage of the trans community and saying they're trans just to...
So that wouldn't be a problem for the trans community to solve. That would be a problem for the cis community to solve, because that wouldn't be an example of one of our own doing something bad. That would be an example of a cisgender person doing something bad.
Okay. I mean, I get it, and I appreciate you being patient with me. I watch your lives quite often. Very insightful. So yeah, I mean, I hope I didn't say anything wrong. Again, I mean, we're on the same team. I'm just, you know, trying to, you know, find my way through this process. So I don't feel my own guilt for being in women's spaces, if that makes sense.
I get that guilt. I have imposter syndrome myself. Even as out loud and proud as I am, I still have imposter syndrome. I constantly feel like I can't possibly be a trans person, etc. Like, look at this body I have. I can't be trans. I can't be a lesbian. I know it's not true, but yeah, imposter syndrome is something that we deal with. It doesn't make us less valid. We're still women, and we belong in women's spaces, no matter what.
I agree. I mean, I totally agree. It's just, I guess what I'm saying is maybe I don't view someone feeling uncomfortable with me necessarily as a hateful form of transphobia. I think a phobia is the fear of. And I sometimes, you know, I think what you're doing is you're teaching people not to be afraid of us. And
there's a bit more to transphobia than that. Transphobia isn't just a fear of; it's also an irrational aversion to or prejudice towards.
Okay, fair enough. And I mean, and again, I'm just saying a portion of transphobia. Yes, there are some absolute horrible people, but at the same time, I mean, I think educating people without necessarily creating an offensive approach, but rather, you know, an educational approach. And, you know, that's all. I mean, sorry, I'm terribly shy.
You're fine, Jules. We're always trying to educate here. That's always the first goal.
Right on. Okay, well, I really appreciate it, and you know, definitely stand behind that statement. Give him the middle finger. I mean, totally, because that's, you know, that's what I do about daily. So,
all right, you have a good one, Jules.
All right, thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, guys, let's have a little bit of discourse here, a little bit of discussion. Should I accept Cash Apps to kick transgender people if that money is going to a family in Palestine? What do you guys think? Okay, overwhelmingly yes. Overwhelmingly.
Personally, I'm okay with it just because of where it's going.
Yeah, me too. That's the only reason I'm okay with it. Yeah.
The cause is the important thing.
Someone is suggesting that kicking a trans person should cost extra. I can get behind that.
I can see that argument.
Sure. If you want, how about this to simplify? Yeah, let's make it this. If they're cisgender, it costs $20. If they're transgender, it costs $30.
I see no objection to that.
Right. Yeah. Raise a little bit more money. Okay.
How much longer are you doing?
Not a dime of this is going to me. None of this is going to me. All of it is being donated to a family in Gaza. 100%.
Do you know how much longer you'll be doing this fundraiser? Or?
Absolutely no clue. As long as it's as long as it's necessary.
Understood.
I am seeing some resistance to raising the price. Let's before I make that official, let's talk about it. Why not raise the price for trans people? I do see people in requests. I'll get you guys up in a second. I will. I promise. Yeah, equality is not the concern here, guys. Equality is not the concern. Hey, if people want to make a donation less than $20, they're welcome to do so. Click on my profile, click on my link tree. The GoFundMe is the very first link. If you want to make a donation that's less than $20, that's fantastic. I encourage that. Go to my link tree and make that donation.
I mean, I still feel like the cause is the important part here.
Me too. I agree.
More
the cause is the important part.
More than whether the panelist is trans or not.
You know what? For simplicity's sake, guys, let's keep it at 20. Let's keep it simple. $20 for everyone. Thank you for the finger hearts.
Hello.
Hello, Mama Moon. How's it going?
Good. How are you? Doing good?
Doing all right. Tired. Hi, Lily.
Yeah, I bet. You've gone on quite a while today.
Thank you for the rose. Yeah, it has. I don't know. I think we had some even more wild ones yesterday. All right, Chef Rex is not connecting. Are you looking at the panel, Mama Moon?
If you want me to.
It's up to you, 100%.
I'm not doing anything. I can sit up here.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, cool.
Transphobia fee. See, that's kind of what I was thinking. I was thinking a transphobia fee, but to help myself out, keeping it simple is the best way to go. $20 for everyone. Hello, how you doing?
Hey, big time 33.
33, fantastic. All right, which restroom should I use?
So your community say gender and sex is different and gender is a social construct.
In part.
So majority of society socially constructed that you should go into the restroom that you are assigned to at birth. Would y'all be offended by that or?
Highly.
So you only abide by some of the social construction, but not all.
Yep, exactly. Because there's harmful social constructs as well.
Well, see, but are we actually defying the social construction? Because the social construction is for women versus men. So I mean, if we're women and we go into the women's bathroom, I don't see how we're violating any social contract or whatever.
Yeah, but all of these like safeguards that's been put in place was based off of different events and possible violence that could happen. And it's women every day, kind of fighting against it. Some accept it, but it's really no common ground because it's something different you all are doing, and you asking society which restroom you should use. That's kind of like a crime. Like, do it at your own risk. You may get caught, you may not.
What
safeguards? Huh?
What safeguards are you speaking of? There's no safeguards put in place for public restrooms. Public restrooms are dangerous areas, period. They always have been. This doesn't change anything.
When you say safeguards, do you mean laws?
No, the public restroom is a big respect thing. It's not like a law. Like, I mean, I've been an officer. The most we could do is remove somebody or trespass, and we can't put nobody in jail just for going into a restroom. So there's no law to going into a restroom.
There are laws that ban trans people from using the restroom of our identity.
Yeah, just recently a bill's been passed because they look
recent, but those laws exist. There are places where we are banned from restrooms.
Yeah, they being proactive against what could potentially happen to
without any evidence. They're passing these laws without any evidence.
You said you need evidence.
Yeah, evidence.
Evidence it on, like, if somebody gonna pretend to dress trans and commit a crime or something.
We need evidence that trans people cause harm to cisgender people by using the restrooms of our identities.
Okay, if y'all want to go with that ideology, let's just say we passed it. You get assaulted continuously, women get assaulted continuously. Then what safeguard would you fight for to prevent that from happening? If you opened up an even more riskier situation for women.
This does not open up. This doesn't open up riskier situations for women. It's always been risky. I'm a cishet woman. I've been using the public restroom for 53 years, and I've never seen anything crazy in the public restroom. You know what I mean? And I've never seen anybody ask anybody to leave. Anybody that's ever came in, they just go in, pee, and they wash their hands and leave. Like, I don't understand why you're speaking for women anyways.
Because I was brought up to respect and protect women. That's some shit I strongly agree with.
Okay. So, do you realize that we already have laws in place that make assaulting illegal, essaying and other types of assault? They're already illegal. So, what additional legal safeguards do you propose we need?
It's no additional. It's good as it is. Whatever you were assigned with at birth, that's what you should go in. And which restroom you should go in. It's that simple.
Okay, so what about a trans man? A trans man who passes as cis. Do you really want a trans man in the women's bathroom?
Jessica, I love you, but I try to avoid the passing arguments.
Sorry.
That argument, you basically asking society to speak for somebody who has their own personal doings and what they went through. Like, we don't navigate their life. Like, if they change and they feel like if they change they feel better and all that, hey, that's them. But if they go into society and they get a different outcome, they can't accept a yes or a no from any and everybody. That's why I asked about the social construct. If majority of society don't want this to happen, Why is it, hard? I'm sure if you feel uncomfortable going into a male restroom, I 100% think it's gonna be a woman around to say, "Hey, don't do that to them. You can use the women restroom. I'll let you go in and watch you come out." I'm pretty sure that happened.
Nope. Nope.
Look, women are born to like cater and love like any and everybody. Men are protectors. They don't have the same emotions.
That's not true.
So I don't know. I don't know what
That's not true.
culture
I
you
was
come
born.
from.
I was
but
born and raised to be a protector and a nurturer at the same time. That's wrong. You can't put men and women into different boxes like that. That women are all the nurturers and men are all the protectors, because that's just not true.
I don't know where I was raised different. I'm sorry.
We all were. We all were. No, we all were. Don't be sorry. We all were raised different. Then Adora was raised different, and we all have to respect the way each other was raised, right?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't understand why it's not okay for Adora to use the women's restroom, because she is a woman. And I've spent time with Adora in real life. She's a woman. She's a woman.
So if you don't know about people's lives that's around the restroom,
Guest got taken down for hate speech. It took 4
Oh, no
hours for us to get our
way.
first flag. 4 hours
That's
for our first
stupid.
flag. That's
That
no,
was
that's
not a bad
Yeah.
conversation either.
That
God.
there was no hate speech.
Yeah, it was a good conversation. It was a good, like, obviously, like, the guest isn't where we'd like them to be, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we were conversing, and he wasn't like hurling slurs or anything. So
Right.
All right.
You gonna reset?
Nah, I'm gonna end. We're 40 minutes over my typical end time, so I'm gonna end now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, love you. See you later, Dora.
Thank you guys.
Have a good day. Thanks for having me.
Let's do a raid. Who's on? Who can we raid? HP's probably means you got on the FIP, right? Yeah. Baby Bop's live, guys. Let's raid Baby Bop. Everyone head on over to Baby Bop's live. Adora raid in chat, and I will see you guys probably tonight. Not gonna lie, I'm dealing with a bit of depression, and it is hard for me to do positive lives when I'm dealing with depression. So as of right now, the talent show is still on for tonight, but it's kind of a we'll see. See you guys later.
May you get feeling better.
Welcome back. So how you doing?
Good. How are you doing? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. I'm 32.
I read a funny comment and they distracted me.
I'm 32.
32. Fantastic. Would you say that I have a vagina?
Sure. Yeah, I'm a friendly. I had more of a question for you.
Okay.
Like, do you think this topic, like anything on like the trans community, like, will ever not have to be discussed? I know there's ignorant people out there, like, so you have to educate, but like, I'm just curious, like, do you ever think it'll just be normalized? Like, it's 2024, like, I don't understand how people are still ignorant.
It takes time. It can even take lifetimes. Once we start getting queer education in school, we won't have to. Once we have people educated about the queer community, this will be less of a thing.
Okay, that makes sense. And I do think it should be taught in school, or not, maybe not taught, but like definitely like awareness to it. So that way, like, yeah, I think that over time would like help the community.
Sure. Yeah, I would agree. Yeah.
Okay, that's all. I just had that question.
Do you have any other suggestions for what we should do?
No, just keep doing what you're doing. I've been following you for a long time. Just yeah, I enjoy listening to your lives.
All right, you have a good one, Dustin.
You too. Bye bye.
Bye.
I'm not sure how to disconnect.
Welcome back, Jay. No, it shouldn't be taught in school. You should wait until your brain is fully developed. Okay, so then what you're saying is that a child cannot know their gender until they're an adult. A child cannot know their sexuality until they're adult. That's silly. Aaron, what do I have then? What do I have?
In the case of Kyle's versus Light, when it comes to 14
whatever you guys want in the background, you gotta turn it off. It is loud.
it has been determined.
I'm in my room by myself.
Yeah, and your TV is blaring.
My TV is off.
What, you got something blasting.
Is 99.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, it's fine. I actually have to reset anyways because I forgot to set this topic to 18 plus. So this topic definitely has to be 18 plus. So yeah, I'm gonna do a reset, guys. I'll be right back. 30 seconds. I just gotta set this to 18 plus. No. Are you a good kitty? Hello, Soul Eater. Hello, Raina Sharp. That's a cool name. Hello, Thom. That's a cool name too. See a lot of people saying, no, I don't. Come on up and let's have a conversation. Glad to see you're back. All right. How am I? I'm all right. Try my name. Ooh. Sayomi? Sayomi? You've probably heard them all. Its Irish is pronounced Quiva. Okay, all right, badass. Why do I look like I've been crying? I have no clue. I cut my prosciutto off? That's a first. I've never heard that. I did get this scar from cutting prosciutto. I got that scar from cutting prosciutto. Does it say 18 plus now? Yes, it does. What eyeliner do I use? NYX. I gotta order some more NYX. Excuse me, you have what? I have a vagina. I see a lot of people talking, but I don't see a lot of people coming up. Let's have a conversation. Come on up into the requests. Why do I always ignore my guests and distract myself with Discord? I also have Twitch going. Twitch is a simultaneous stream, and I also have to engage with Discord chat and Twitch chat. Yeah, Discord and Twitch chat.
I felt like you weren't engaging me, so I sent a request to be engaged. See how easy that is?
Right, exactly. Yep.
Hello, darling.
I had a guest request, I lost him. How you doing today, Buzzy?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing all right. This is only my second time running this topic. It wasn't a huge success the first time. Giving it a second shot.
Oh, are you doing it like Q&A style?
More debate style, but if people have questions, they're welcome to come up for that too.
That makes sense. Hopefully you're getting some actual questions and not people that are just being ridiculous.
I suppose it doesn't ask a question, it makes a statement.
Suppose, yeah, I can see that.
I try to scrunch things down to as few words as possible, and sometimes I forget to ask a question when I do that. Because when you have too many words, people don't pay attention.
Hi.
Hello, Kimberly. How you doing?
How are you?
Your background noise is so bad.
I know my phone is acting crazy. I need to get a new phone. I'm about to throw this shit out. I know my phone. I don't know. I don't know if you can hear me.
I can hear you, but I hear so much background noise.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to change my phone. I'm sorry about that.
No problem. I'm gonna have to drop you though.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye.
I mean, I don't want to just go back to the old tried and true. I don't want to go back to the bathroom debate or the I'm a woman debate. Like those are the ones that are the most successful. I want to try something different every now and then. Hello, Lips.
It's always nice to switch it up.
Yes. I suddenly have multiple people.
Hello?
All right, well, let's do two people. All right, Ryan and Ryan, how are you?
31.
31, fantastic. And what's how old are you?
23. The echo is really bad.
You saw it? Yeah.
I think somebody is connected to their car because the echo is really bad.
Yeah.
I don't think the echo comes from me.
Ryan?
It might be me. Let me see.
Yeah, it's definitely Ryan. I just want to know if you're connected.
I unconnected, but I'll go again.
Yeah, I think you're gonna have to drop. Sorry. Hello? Yeah, you see that. Sorry, Ryan. Okay, Manny does debates. What is your thought on the topic?
So are you being technical when you say like you have a vagina? Sorry, I know my TV's kind of loud. Give me 1 second. Okay. Yeah, that's my question because
I'm being literal. I literally have a vagina.
I disagree with that. I believe you have something that emulates a vagina. I just don't think you have one. By definition, you wouldn't be able to have a vagina.
By definition, I do have a vagina.
What's the definition of a vagina?
I would say that a vagina is the muscular tubing that typically leads from the vulva to the cervix.
Where's your cervix?
I don't have one. That's why I use the word typically.
Right. So
that's why I use the word typically, because not all women have cervixes.
Right, but then you're talking about medical anomalies. You just don't have that anatomy, period.
I love it. I'll just go right for the anomaly. It doesn't matter why a person doesn't have a cervix. That's not relevant. The fact that they don't have a cervix doesn't change the fact that they have a vagina.
Wait, I'm confused.
Having a vagina does not require having a cervix.
Right, but then, like I'm saying, by definition, though, you wouldn't have a vagina. Even if we're talking about women that don't have, like, the cervix, right? Whatever. That's a medical anomaly. I don't know why you're comparing yourself to that, but in the same sense, you technically still don't qualify as having a vagina. You have something that emulates it.
Why not? Why is what I have not a vagina?
Because that's your testes and your pee being like literally reconstructed to look like a vagina, right? You don't have.
Testes have to do with my vagina. I don't have testes.
You used to, of course, and you turned it into.
Can I ask if you've ever seen someone post-op that have had the surgery? Have you ever seen?
I am not interested in seeing that.
I would think that. So, just for like the sake of this, if you're going to use this as an argument to say that it is something like a vagina, for educational purposes, to be able to redirect your argument, you should probably look at what that looks like and realize that whatever mutilated image you have in your mind, it does not look like that. It looks like a vagina, like a regular vagina. And vaginas come in all sorts of shapes and sizes. However, it looks like a regular vagina. It's not mutilated. I don't know. People like to use the argument that it's an open wound. It is not a wound. It has the same nerve endings that you have, the exact same sensations.
No.
It does. It does. I think that you should do research before having these conversations.
I have done my research. What I haven't done is just seen it, right? Because logically speaking, I don't have to see it based on what I've researched, right? I know the whole process from the vaginoplasty to I know all of that. I did my research. I just don't want to see that, right? And I'm not saying it's
I'm not faulting you for that. No one here is faulting you for that.
Right. What I'm arguing though is saying, like, matter of fact, Buzzy, you literally just said it. Like, play on words, you just said it looks. That's my whole point. It's not a vagina. It emulates a vagina. It looks like one.
So what?
It's not a vagina.
What I said is that it looks, as vaginas come in all shapes and sizes, it fits in that lineup of what would be considered a regular vagina, because vaginas come in all shapes and sizes. Not every woman's vagina looks the same. Like, not every woman's vagina looks the same, right? And that's the long
true.
and the short of
Every
it.
woman's vagina looks the same, but we cannot be completely oblivious to the fact that there's a difference here. This is someone that's born with
And what are you saying the differences are?
It could be literally, the difference is your anatomy. A woman is naturally born with this, right? As opposed to a trans woman who has to reconstruct their genitalia into this, right? Like, we cannot be oblivious to that fact. We can't say they're the same thing. That's harmful. Like, that's misinformation. What was that? Sorry.
Oh, I messed up my Cash App. Once I'll fix my Cash App in a second. Yeah. So some cisgender women also need vaginoplasties.
So your only concession in this is that her vagina is somehow not real because she wasn't born with it? Is that your... This is not making any sense.
No, because that's remaining logically consistent, right? Because she was not born with that. She had to have her genitalia reconstructed to look like that.
I just informed you that it's the same for some cis women as well.
But by definition, that does not make her vagina not real.
I went by definition where she even said cervix, right? And somehow women without the cervix brought them, like, it was, anyway, right? By definition, technically, she still wouldn't be considered like as having
But by definition of the word you're using, which is real is actually existing as a thing or occurring in fact, not imagined or supposed. Her vagina actually exists. It is not a figment of your imagination. It actually exists. It is not supposed. She has a vagina.
Okay, so if one thing I don't know is how far back bottom surgery goes. So, like, did it not exist at the time, like before bottom surgery became a thing? Can I, like, that's just saying it never existed at all, just until we discovered the technology or how to reconstruct a male genitalia to look like a female genitalia. So did it not exist before?
Compared to human history, compared to the existence of medical history, it's a relatively new surgery.
Right. So, once again, I believe my point still stands.
What does the recency of the surgery have to do with anything? Oh, guess is gone.
Okay, to answer the question, the first vaginoplasty was done in, I think it was 1930, in Germany, and the doctor's name was Dr. Kirk. I can't pronounce the last name, never could, but it starts with a W. I think it's something like Warnekros. You can find it on the NIH website. It'll tell you. But the first vaginoplasty happened in 1930.
I actually have 1906. Wait, maybe not. Maybe I don't. Like, yeah, okay, I thought 1930 might be.
And then I think it's said that the first sexual reassignment surgery happened in 1931, and it also happened in Germany. But I don't remember the doctor that performed that one. Might have been the same one. On the opposite side of that, I don't know, words have meaning. If you're going to say something is real, by definition, Adora's vagina. Hey, why are we talking about your vagina like this? Like it's some objective thing. But like, by definition of real, Adora's vagina.
All come in different shapes and sizes, 100%. Yep.
Yeah,
it's not real. They just don't even know what the word real means.
Yeah, by definition of real, for 739 of you, so nobody else makes this argument, the definition of real is actually existing as a thing or occurring in fact, and I think it says not imagined or supposed. So it is real.
What is everyone's audio today? I need to pull a Reggie and put, why is your audio so bad underneath?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Donnie. How old are you, please?
Oh, I'm 46.
46. Fantastic. And do I have a vagina?
Yeah. Okay. Yes and no. Why I say no, I mean, I don't mean to sound a little personal. How do you like get pleasure? Like a woman is different than, a man. Like, I mean, this is like a tough subject for me to talk about in the first place. But
if you're asking about sensation, which is I think what you're asking, your background.
Yeah. Thank you. Like I'm trying to get a grasp of that,
Can you turn your volume down a little bit?
Sorry. I'm on my headset. Sorry.
Are you in a movie theater?
No.
Okay.
Let me get off my headset. Hold on.
I'm sorry, you're kind of yelling in my hearing aids, but I think you're asking about sensation. Sensation-wise, there's no difference. Jesus Christ.
This isn't going to work. There's no way this conversation's going to work.
I can't.
The audio's so bad.
It's making me cringe. I'm sorry. My hearing aids are, it's right in the
I'm sorry, Donnie. Sorry.
So, for sensation-wise, I think that's the question you were asking. It's no different than any other time that would occur.
Hey,
TikTok's safe way of saying that.
No problem.
So if you're talking about sensation-wise, it works no different than any other time that something would be occurring to that specific area of the body that is supposed to cause pleasure. That's the TikTok way to say that. And for the person that's like, how so, Buzzy? Because there are nerves and sensation. Nerves.
I mean, just look at that person's name. They're not here for a genuine conversation. And they follow me. No, I'm not going to block them. All right. How you doing, guys? I don't know how to pronounce your name. Sorry.
Hi, my name's Aviella. You can call me Avi or Ella. My pronouns are she, her.
Fantastic. And how old are you, please?
I'm 21.
21. Awesome. And what are your thoughts on the topic?
So I just have a question. So in terms of the actual procedure, if the host could please explain the actual procedure entailed. Yeah,
I have right behind me, I have the full detailed explanation of every single thing that was done. The short version is that my male genitalia was made into female genitalia, my testicles were removed, my scrotum was used to increase the depth of my vaginal canal, my penis skin was used to shape my labia, etc., all that kind of stuff. Tip of my penis was used to create my clitoris, and all that kind of good stuff.
Okay, and then my next question would be for an individual who is intersex and they would like to get surgery to identify or have the sexual organs to which gender is stereotypically associated with those sexual organs, would the same surgery be used?
I would imagine something similar. I'm not positive.
When I asked my doctor this question, I see an OBGYN that does see trans patients after they've had surgeries. My doctor said that it could be the same process. It depends on what it is that they are seeking in affirmation.
Okay, and then would an individual need to be on any sort of hormones post-surgery? And if so, what do those hormones entail?
Estrogen, and yes, we have to be on estrogen for a minimum of 1 year before the surgery.
Okay. Thank you so much. So I guess that my opinion is that if someone has, so yes, I think you do have a vagina because you are taking estrogen. So you're producing the hormone that, cis women do naturally produce. And some cis women don't, and they need to take hormone supplements. So I think yes. And because you've had bottom surgery, if I'm not mistaken, I think that's what it's called. Then you do have a vagina.
Okay, well, I would disagree with the reason. I mean, I don't think estrogen plays a part in that, but yeah, I'm glad we agree that I do in fact have a vagina.
Okay, cool. Okay, thanks. Bye.
All right. Okay, you have a good one. I mean, the whole reason there's a variety of reasons that they want us to be on estrogen for a certain amount of time. And that's because they're going to remove our testicles when we get a vaginoplasty, meaning that our body is going to not be producing significant levels of hormones on its own. If you have very, very low hormones, that you run the risk of becoming chronically ill. That's bad. We don't want that. So you're going to have to be on estrogen after this surgery, and we want people to be on estrogen a year before the surgery to make sure that our bodies can handle these.
To the person that asked, how did I know the answer to that question about sensations? Because I have an OBGYN. I have an OBGYN, and my OBGYN also sees trans patients, which means that I can ask my OBGYN questions, which I do. He answers said questions. So I can only answer about things that I've asked him about when we were talking about it.
To the person whose name is adult human female, I would say that you are definitely welcome to be here. Oops, I forgot to restart my Twitch. Whether I don't know what kind of content you do. I don't know what your stance is, and that was awful. All right, next up.
If you don't know what an OBGYN is, maybe this is not the conversation you should be having, and maybe you lied about your age on this app, and you should probably be better.
Hello, Crystal. How you doing?
Hi, I'm good. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, I can. How old are you, please?
Perfect. I am 34. 34. So I am completely open to everybody's rights. I love everybody. I do believe that you have a vagina. I just have a couple questions. So I have nothing against anybody, really. Anybody in the whole world. So, except for evil people. I just like kind people. So, yes, your vagina is real. You had it surgically turned into a vagina. Was it a naturally born vagina? No. I do have some questions though on your muscles.
Okay.
Do you can you self lubricate like with your own body?
Yes.
Okay, cool. What about dilation? Because of the muscles, can you grip with like Kegel exercises?
They use Kegel exercises for us.
Okay, cool. And then what about the dilation? Like you have to dilate every day to keep it open? Is that for everybody?
So during the recovery phase, yes, we dilate daily, and that number goes down. It starts at 4 times a day, half an hour each. It's rough. Those early days are rough.
Yeah.
And it drops down to 3 times a day. 6 months it drops down to twice a day. 9 months it drops down to once a day. And after a year, you're dilating once or twice a week as needed.
Okay, but still, your whole life you have to at least dilate at some point so it doesn't close up. Which is it was sad. I mean, honestly, that sucks. Yeah, that sucks. Okay, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's just the things that I wanted to talk about. I absolutely believe that you have a real vagina. Like she said, it's the definition of real is being real. It is there. I just wanted to know your, so I guess the anatomy inside of it when they do the surgery and stuff on how it works like a naturally born vagina, you know what I mean? I don't know how to say these things the proper way to not offend anybody or not offend you, but just the ins and outs of how it works. But thank you.
All right, awesome. Appreciate you coming up.
Thank you. Bye.
That's interesting. My doctor said, like, for some people, they don't have to dilate at all after their first year. I wonder if it's depending on which kind of surgery you get. Questions from my doctor. I'll have to ask him when I see him.
I'm honestly too afraid of losing depth. I have forgotten a few times. Come back, not going to be different. I'm too afraid not to.
I can understand that.
Guest is not going to. Chloe, how can you have the coolest name twice in your profile? Like, that's not fair. Chloe is the coolest name.
I think, like, also for cisgender women that are in here that are curious about these things and want to ask questions, if you have an OBGYN that sees trans patients, you can ask them questions. My doctor actually encourages the asking of questions. I don't know if maybe at some point, like, it felt like there were people coming into the doctor's office that were kind of like, staring or confused at what was happening. So he encourages the asking of questions, and he has like little, like, I don't know how to, like, little figurines, if you will, to explain things. Very helpful.
Okay. Thank you for the sub. Appreciate you so much. Shay, I appreciate that. A reminder to everyone that if I receive a Cash App to Kick or a Venmo to Kick, those are being donated to the family that I'm fundraising for in Palestine. Hello, Penguin. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm 36.
36. Fantastic. And do I have a vagina?
You do. I just have a question, and I don't know if this is the right live to ask this, but I just had a question on HRT. What method of estrogen do you find the best? I'm 6-week post-op from a total hysterectomy, and I've been on the patch. I'm just wondering, in your experience, what you found the best.
For the best for what?
For, like, the patch, the cream, or pills for estrogen for HRT.
Oh, I do a sublingually pills.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I guess I've never heard of that one, but thank you. I will definitely look into that.
So it's my understanding that that sublingual pills is actually not the best way to get it. The most ideal way to take estrogen is shots.
Okay.
That's my understanding.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. I will definitely look into other options. I'm just struggling 6 weeks with the patch, and I was just curious what your experience was.
Yeah, I've had no issues with pills, so I haven't had any need to try anything else.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
All right. You have a good one.
You too.
Bye. Okay. Again, to those of you that are commenting on Cash App to Kick being back, it is back so that I can fundraise for the family in Palestine. Shadia Likelook and his family are doing a fundraiser. They're trying to raise 30,000 euros. One of my greatest sources of income before everything happened was my Cash App to Kick. So I am turning that source of income into an opportunity to fundraise for this family. 100% of the Cash Apps and Venmos that I receive to Kick will go to this family. 100%. Has anyone Cash App to Kick today? They have not. I haven't had guests. Thank you for the rose. Thank you for the heart me.
why is it a problem if women don't want to be called cis? I don't know if in this conversation anybody has used the term cis outside of me talking about a specific instance of if you happen to see an OBGYN that also sees trans patients. It's very specific. Need to differentiate there.
All right, I'm back to no guest requests. Is that black and red eyeliner? It is, or black and pink, but yeah. So here's what I'm going to do right now, guys. I am going to take a break, a 10 to 15 minute break, and I will be right back with a new topic.
You should probably take 30 minutes so we can get a nap in. Nap time.
I know, huh? Yeah. All right, I'll be back in 10 to 15, guys.
Bye.